social media. Boost your brand during prime time with Ghana sponsorship packages and enquiries. Email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko nikosi, alo komi keshito.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Ghana Talks Radio, UK, Abrichimemu, and from Ghana Muha at the sound system, which is spinning machine papa, a free amana nearby be good among Ghana Muha. It is a year, we engagement, we wedding, we birthday party. Political parties are more rally, some way more crusade. So we'll book carnival or any kind of event. Now we'll pay spinning machine papa a boss sound in the moon at the dia any may come for GTR sounds at the MAO. Your live band in so our tones are at the frame ya beat me abababua. Ama ujume dia woody and so at me I come up. Yawa enkan pupuni mantemo anya aponchi hotel a hope pepe ena yebutu odi ame se wo be frɛ mpanifo ɛwɔ 0546960510 GTR sounds emu ode angaza.
Ghana Talks Radio, #1.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko nikosi, alo komi keshito.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Ghana Talks Radio, #1.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. Thank God it's Friday. Good morning to you, lovely listeners of Ghana Talks Radio. This is another day. It's another blissful and another beautiful day. And you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. You are welcome to the news headline review. I am your host, Ruth Esinam Fiagbedu, and I'll be serving you breakfast this morning with some relevant news stories and issues that matter to you every morning right here on the show. And I'll be doing this with Ms. Debbie Adoso and Ms. Regina Bless. We are here to serve you breakfast. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How is you?
It's fine.
Miniano, what they go? A lot.
There is no day you wake up and you wouldn't hear something going on.
You wouldn't hear something.
So every day be a because of pain.
Because so this morning, what is going on? Did you hear something going on?
Oh, this morning I didn't really hear anything going on, but it's about what we are discussing this morning.
Yeah. And also this morning, I also heard of the NIMOS also rejecting a bribe from
Yeah. I think that was I saw that video yesterday.
So I heard it on PCF this morning as well.
I saw it yesterday. Then I don't know how true this info is, but I saw and I heard that I think they said Kevin Taylor has been shot in his apartment. I don't know how true it is, because I haven't seen the credible,
any credible news
like sources posting it, but then I've seen it, so I don't know.
But if indeed it's true, we'll get to it. But we are hoping that it's not true. It's not true. Miss Regina, what have you seen?
You said it all.
I thought you said you saw the watches seller when you were coming.
I was, but I was very late. I couldn't stop.
Watches landed after show, no?
Right. Let's dive into the news items we have this morning. This is coming from Bagbin. Ghana needs a third political force. The Parliament of Ghana, Alban Bagbin, has called for the emergency of a strong third political force in Ghana, saying it will strengthen the country's democracy. Speaking at a political inclusion and consensus building forum organized by the African Center for Parliamentary Affairs on February 18th, Bagbin reflected on Ghana's political developments since the start of the Fourth Republic in 1992. He recalled attending the first Congress of the National Democratic Congress in Cape Coast, describing the diversity of participants from across the country as a strong symbol of unity and national belonging. Bagbin also noted that he had attended congresses of the New Patriotic Party upon invitation, where he observed a similar spirit of engagement and inclusiveness. However, he expressed concern that Ghana's political landscape has increasingly become dominated by just two major parties. Now, we seem to have only two strong, vibrant and supporting parties, he said. For me, I think we need a third force. According to the speaker, expanding political competition could deepen democratic participation, encourage broader consensus building, and give Ghanaians more options in national leadership. So this is coming from the Speaker of Parliament, Mr. Speaker Alban Bagbin. He said, Ghana, we need a third force, a strong third force. As it stands now, it looks as if we have just two political parties, and as you know, it's the NDC and the NPP. He said that if we have this, if we have a third force, it's going to expand political competition and could deepen democratic participation. Miss Regina, do you think it's high time we get a strong third force?
Yeah, so I would say it's high time we get a strong third force, because Ghana is a democratic country and we are open for options. We are not supposed to be limited to one or two political parties.
Exactly.
But when we come to Ghana here, Sanye MPP, NDC, and Yehu MPP, the Ombetumi aye, Yehu NDC, so the Ombetumi aye. And the party we na, sorry to say, so we are bogosa.
Yebe fabakosa.
Yebe fabakosa. So what I say, but it shouldn't be so. And the main reason why he's calling for a third force is because we need to be open to options.
Yes.
Because we are not open to options is because there is no third strong party. None is there. So these political parties especially, they know say, oh, we are the only options. And to say NDC, I'm fine NDC, I better my MPP. And to not excuse me to say no bia no money Ghana food. But if you have relevant and competitors, there's no way you would play with your job. Everyone would be serious with whatever they want to do. If it's development, if it's making sure that they build more schools, hospitals, health facilities, what have you, they would be serious with it and do it. When the past administration came, they promised us one district, one factory, one village, one dam, agenda 111, and all, like, just a lot of promises. What they were able to achieve, I would say out of 100, 10% in Podoso, 10% Edoso. They know that whether they fulfill it or not, we would still vote for them. Just imagine the number of votes the MPP got last 2 years. if they had competitors, just one vote in Pomunya,
They will not get.
they will not get one
Seriously.
vote. So this is your friend is saying this is a strong call, especially to the other people. Cheddar, and also Atiada, Alan Chamantin, Brian, Kennedy. I mean, I'm free party, no monty or more party. But I think I'll be rooting for Cheddar because he's a young man with a lot of visions and he understands the your friend is saying problems of the people,
Especially the youth.
Bangkok no more show no more dear mo bottom no more, and it's high time African leaders step down for the youth. They should create space for the youth. They be Bangkok for which country recently did it? Oh, a country Benya
Is
if
it
you want
Uganda? Is it
again.
Uganda or
Yeah, Uganda. Yeah,
Where the
it was
man
Uganda.
is somewhere, BBC.
yeah, yeah.
They still voted for that man. What are you coming to give to us? What are you coming to do?
And then I think one country, I think I showed it to you, where the man have been a president for 40 years and he is still changing the constitution.
Yeah.
One African country.
Just as our country need the autocratic country, they don't have a say.
It's bad.
Our African leaders are very annoying. In fact, even if they are supposed to bring military rule, they should bring it. And I know a time will come in Ghana where we will have military rule.
You think so?
Oh,
Looking at
Ghana, be here. You see military rule. Me by then I'm outside.
Miss Devi.
Yeah, so we need people with fresh ideas
That's
and
fine.
policies. We've seen, I mean, the MPP, the NDCs, their ideas and their policies, and it's still the same thing. After every 4 years, they come up with the same policies, just that they've brushed it or twisted it a bit, but it is still the same thing. And if you like, you can note this down. In 2028, they will come back with the same policy. They will come back with the same initiative again, and then they'll add something very small to it. And because they know that we are educated illiterate. Let me put it that way, because they know we are educated illiterate, and so when they twist it, they can buy our vote, and then they will still win. That is the thought of politicians, which is not supposed to be so. So I remember when this man, the first trial of this man, Goom, Kaish, the man got third.
Yeah.
After MPP NDC, he was the third person, and the vote the man got, it was crazy.
So you would have gone further.
If he could have gone further, this man would have become the president of Ghana.
My dear, but did you
Because-
see his policies?
No, but did you see the vote he got? He got that vote because Ghanaians are tired.
Exactly.
And we are tired. Even if the policy doesn't make sense, we know that at least it will bring some sort of change. Because you've experienced, as she said, we've experienced the MPP, we've experienced the NDC, and they are all, I mean, they are just going the same way.
Jericho Wall.
Yes, they are
Jericho
marching
wall.
around the Jericho wall, and that is what we see. See, that man shocked everybody. Just what try the percentage you are supposed to get, because I think when the voting system, when you get a percentage and you don't even win, your money will be retrieved back to you. The money you use in buying the form, I think the money will be retrieved back to you. But when you don't cross that percentage, so
Really?
so the people like the PPP, the NDP, they are getting 1, 2, 3. Oh yes, can. But if you are able to cross that percentage and then you still don't get it, your money will be given back to you. So that man did massively well. But after that, whatever. And I remember that he was so, I mean, eager to become the president. So in every district he has his office. He has his office at every district.
Yeah.
And then he had people in the office working on grants for him. And people were happy because he had MPP NDC. Oh, they are tired though. It's because all the incoming out. The only thing I'll say that those small parties, they are not serious. No, they are not serious. CPP, a whole first president, our first president party. And to me, all those small parties, they are not serious. The main reason why I am saying they are not serious is because you've tried. You are not. So what do you do? I feel like come together. Those small parties, the PPP, the NDP, the PPP, come together as one party. I know, said definitely there will be some sort of way because everyone will like to be a leader, but you choose one person, and then you bring ideas on board, solid one. Then you want to go for a floor, but you're not coming together. They are also not losing hope. And every year you are paying forms like 100,000, and then you are coming after every 4 years, and you're still not winning.
Right. Would you say that this dual parties we have in Ghana here, which is the NPP and the NDC, they are in a way limiting our democratic growth? Would you say that?
They are limiting what?
Limiting our democratic growth.
Growth.
Yeah. Like the way democracy is supposed to be
course.
in the country and how it's supposed to go. When it happens like that, it looks as if because your administration came in and then did this to this person, when I also come, I'm also going to do it to this person.
It's tit for tat.
Yeah, tit for tat. Something.
It's true. It's true because see, even if they come on board, they'll bring up policies that you can't climb up there. Oh, it's true. And have you seen that politics is now expensive? Politics is expensive, so money, they are creating this kind of pace that before you get there, now so these two dual political parties we have in this country, they are making in fact they are threat to our democracy. And as I said, when they get the power, they try to set rules that will make it difficult for you to cross that line, but they will always have it easy.
Would you say that is why these small parties can't even, venture?
Oh, sure,
or even come in?
Yeah. And even with that self now, as a small party, like the people you have on ground, how strong are they? Their grassroots, how strong are they? How are they able to convince people? Do you have people who also contest, like this by-election that MPP and NDC are contesting? Do you have people who also contest and they can pull out these MPP and NDC representatives?
I think I like what Kwame Plus is doing. He's an independent candidate, and then he's doing so well in his constituency. So if really the other parties want to come to power, they can also go independent, pick a particular community, make sure they develop that community, and use that as an evidence to Ghanaians to tell them that, oh, look at this community, I was the MP or whatsoever, and these are the developments and the projects I did there. What makes you think that if you give me the whole country, I'm not going to do the same? I think this is where the small parties need to start looking at, because you can't just come boom and you expect everyone, because what are you going to show? But you don't have any work to show that you are capable of doing the job.
It will be difficult because now of late what I've noticed is that these small parties are trying to mingle themselves with this current dual parties. We have someone like Janet Nabla. That woman is he CPP or PPP?
Is it PNP?
PNP.
I think so.
She has a party, but whatever she does automatically means that in a way she's trying to affiliate herself with the NPP. So wait, what are you preaching? Are you preaching the NPP or you're preaching your party? So I think those small parties, I don't know, but I feel like they are confused.
Oh, you think so?
Yes, I feel like they are confused. They should reset themselves and come back stronger.
Reset agenda. It's all about consistency and they are not consistent.
Yeah. Just as you made an example of Goom. Right.
Goom, dear.
Ayawaso East by-election. Absence of female candidates disappointing. Backben again. The Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, has expressed disappointment over the absence of female candidates in the upcoming Ayawaso East by-election. Speaking at a political inclusion and consensus building forum organized by the African Center for Parliamentary Affairs, Bagbin emphasized that political inclusion must start at the party level before it is reflected in parliament. He said political parties serve as the gateway to representation, while parliament is where representation translates into national decision making. According to him, if women are not given opportunities at the party level, gender balance in parliament will remain a challenge. Bagbin revealed that he had hope that at least one political party would field a woman as its parliamentary candidate for the March 3rd Ayawaso East by-election. However, none of the contesting parties has presented a female candidate. The speaker's comments come amid ongoing national conversations about gender representation in Ghana's political space and the need to increase women's participation in leadership and governance. Why would you say that parties are finding it difficult to field a woman to represent their party? Miss Debbie?
They are finding it difficult.
Would you say it's a challenge?
For me, I don't see it as a challenge. Because if the...
Or the women are not both?
Yes. It's not a challenge, because trust me, if I want to buy this camera stand, and I know how significant this is to me, when I get it, how it's going to help me, I don't mind even sleeping with on an empty stomach just to save and buy this camera, because I know what it's going to do for me. So in a way, I'm determined to get this camera, and I don't even care, because it's not easy to sleep on an empty stomach. So in a way, I'm sacrificing that. So if there is, what's the name, a competition, you should be determined. Okay, if the person is not determined, you can't force her. I can't force it, because I want women to occupy positions, and the woman which you are supporting to go and occupy that position doesn't even have intim. You know, one thing about ladies, that sometimes we don't really take things seriously. Yes, sometimes, because sometimes say, the way I see you, and when you go to this competition, when you do this, like, you do well, and then you be like, now I say it. Sometimes people like look see you from afar, and then they know that you have some sort of capabilities, like you can do this, but one can say like you feel like you see no reason why like you should do that, but the person sees a reason why you should do that. So if the person does not have that kind of edge to go in for that competition, you can't force her. The thing is, there should be a will. People who go into politics, they go into politics because they have the will of doing politics. Women who go into politics to become members of parliament is because they have a will of becoming members of parliament, and that is why they do it. And even women who occupy big positions is because that is what Obi Ohoni go on and say, this is what I want to do. Kenya, I'll get it, and I'll get it too. Because whatever you set your mind to do, so far as you set your mind and all your body have agreed to that, you will do it. But the thing is, you can't force the person. If you go to parliament, we have female there, but how many times do you even see them speak? Until Brafo, most of them are very educated. I don't know whether they are shy, like I can't tell, because sometimes when you see them being interviewed and they are talking, you could hear sense in what they are saying, and you see them talk with boldness. Okay, so let me use this woman as an example. Dorcas Toffel.
That
woman, she's parliament. Yes. Hey. That woman, the way I see her, she's the woman. No. You get it? Yes, Obia kind of nani saw shekakra. Because even with this transport issue, we saw her go to was it India or China?
Yeah,
India. And then we saw her, and some time ago I've also seen her in an interview for some couple of time, Bisa, and she's good. So most of these female are good, not that one.
And she's doing so well in
she's doing well. And I think another woman, is it Abby Bright?
Yeah.
That woman too. Kai.
Another
Do you know she speaks French?
Yeah. Kai. I dey feel me.
So she's
gangster. Kai. Then another one is Zaneto.
Yeah. Hey. She's slow but sure.
You can see the confidence.
Yeah.
So you see, so we have the people. I feel like sometimes they should just be encouraged. Okay, encouraged. Like you, as I said, sometimes you have the capability, but you yourself, you don't know that you have the capabilities. Someone will tell you that, hey, like the way I see, do you know when you do this, like it will fit you?
No, I don't think so.
You get it? I don't think so. Then even after the person said, I didn't know, you still come back and sit down and think about the words. Hey, I said, you can no crow. It's like this, and I can do it too. See, let me tell you, sometimes when you see women get there and then you interview them, they will tell you that most of the steps they take, they didn't take it because they had the intention. It was somebody that draw the attention to it. And they said, you can do it, or you try and see. Now far. So sometimes I feel like they should be encouraged. And one more thing, trust yourself. Believe in yourself. No one gets it right at the first place or at the first time, okay? It's small. You flop, but you learn your mistake and then you're good to go. It is only a fool that doesn't learn from his or her mistake, and then you keep marking time at the same place.
Yeah.
So someone like that woman, that MPP woman, she needs a lot of work to do. Okay, you cannot and yes, I say no what ya now kasa no. A ban is so yeah, man. But don't worry, we will get there.
We will get there.
If you see me in Parliament one day,
I won't be surprised.
Don't be surprised.
I won't be surprised at all. So indirectly, it looks like Bagbin actually wish, like the political parties presented a woman. But the NDC have given us a female vice president for the first time. In history. And it looks like from their side today, a lot of women coming up.
Yeah, a lot. A lot.
Yeah. So please.
And occupying, big positions too.
Yeah. What men can do, women can do better. So encourage yourself. If you want to take up a political, page or stage or something, just do it. Alban Bagman will welcome you. And I believe, looking at how he spoke, he's ready to coach you if you need that support. Right, Miss Regina.
Yeah. Okay. So I would say when it comes to gender equality, women are the number one advocates, especially.
Feminine.
Yeah, what?
Feminism.
So this shouldn't be even difficult for you when you're doing politics because you're kasa.
Yes, gender equality. And I'm equal. And I want a man can do, women can do better. To see our position in the home. Monkofa. Women. See, I would say she said something which slightly I would disagree with her. That sometimes you need to be encouraged. You don't have to wait for a validation from someone before you. She said you take up a course for your own self. And as she said, you want to buy a camera stand. You know how dear it is to you. So even if you are supposed to forfeit your food for every 1 week, you will do it. You will do it and buy it. I remember when I wanted to buy something. Just said, if I'm supposed to walk from the house to the work, I will walk. Because it's just here, so I'll walk and come. I walk and come. So it's all about determination and how you see yourself. If you have the faith within, trust me, there's nothing you can do. And you don't have to wait, as I say, you don't have to wait for someone to validate your opinion before you be like, yes, it's true. Nipa ne se me ho offenti ampa me ho ofe. Nipa ne se metumi aye nti ampa metumi aye. You are dumb. You are sick upstairs. So to our ladies, very soon, as she's saying, me next year, me call politics. It's me who will help you, man. You see, some person may communicate mama, and I'm with Yamaka, and I'm a yen for fair farm, mama. So what I say, it's me who will help you, mammy, or parliament. I think I made dream party, no, say third, fourth, now my joining third for because end this name before dear. You're much lecturing there.
Yeah, tired. So, Speaker Alban Bagbin is encouraging women to take up political posts. Take it up. Just do it. Security bill in its current form is flawed. Centralizes excessive power in presidency. Minority. The minority in parliament has criticized the proposed Security and Intelligence Agencies Bill 2025, describing it as flawed and overly centralizing power in the presidency. Minority Leader Alexander Fenyo-Markin said, while the minority supports reforms to Ghana's national security architecture, the current version of the bill raises serious constitutional and accountability concerns. According to him, Ghana needs a modern, efficient, and professional intelligence system that protects citizens and safeguards the constitutional order. However, he argued that the bill concentrates excessive appointing authority in the hands of the president. Mr. Afenyomarkin pointed out that the bill grants the president the power to appoint the National Security Coordinator and Director General of Intelligence Agencies without parliamentary vetting. He stressed that these officers oversee agencies with cohesive powers and access to sensitive national data, and therefore should not operate without legislative scrutiny. The minority leader also raised concerns about oversight mechanism under the bill. He argued that the National Security Council, chaired by the president, would effectively supervise the intelligence agencies, a situation he described as self-oversight. He further criticized the absence of an independent inspector-style body with proactive investigative powers to monitor intelligence operations. For these reasons, we cannot support the bill in its present form, he declared. The minority is calling on Parliament to amend the legislation by inserting stronger independent oversight mechanisms to ensure national security operations remain accountable, transparent, and constitutionally grounded. So this is coming from the minority, and they are saying that the security bill in its current form as it stands now is so flawed because it gives the president excessive power and so much power, because it's the president that appoints the National Intelligence Director General of the National Intelligence Committee, and it's something that is, very flawed. So they should look at it, because they are not going to support it for it to be amended. So they are urging Parliament to look into it before they bring it up again. Yes, Debbie.
Well, I would say that the minority, in a way, they are not wrong.
They have a point.
They have a point, because as it stands now, the executive have more power than all the all the arms of government. I mean, we have the legislative, the executive, the judiciary, and the executive have more power than the legislature, and then the judiciary. Okay, and sometimes it looks as if the executive in a way intrudes in the affair of the judiciary and even in the affairs of the legislative, which is not supposed to be so. So when we talk about our security and all that, this is a sensitive area, and so when we are picking up someone to coordinate that particular entity, then we need to pick someone who is also sensitive. Because we cannot just go and pick anybody. We've seen what is going on in other countries. We cannot go and pick any reckless person who do not even have the skills or knows nothing about security. So if you are giving the power to the executive will just appoint anybody based on recommendations of people. Because the executive is the president and his cabinet. Mind you, the president cannot go on grass doing this work. All the people that the president has appointed, it's based on the recommendation of other people. They were being recommended because Papa Juma. This is the positive outcome of what he has done before. And so when we give this position to this particular person, the person can do better. And that is why they appoint people. So when we are giving the power to the executive, it means the executive is going to appoint people appoint a security coordinator based on the recommendation of people. Then it also means that what is supposed to pass through the proceedings of the legislature is not going to be so. And that is why Afenyomarkin is fighting against the bill. Because we've seen instances where even if someone is being appointed, there is a vetting committee. You need to be vetted. I mean, there needs to be thorough shall I say investigation to know whether this person can do this work before there is being given the mandate to go ahead. So I feel like this whole thing, they shouldn't give the executive has too much power, and for me, like, it's kind of scary. What if one day we get a president that do not really care, like what we have previously? I didn't mention anybody, and I said previously we have a lot of presidents that has become president in Ghana. Yes. So what if in the future we get a leader who is, excuse me, crazy, and then this leader goes to choose any random person into our security sector without the person being vetted without the person going to the right position. Because we even have security at our borders, Then getting someone to appoint a coordinator who is not doing his work, and this has not say, oh. So we need to get somebody who is sensitive to their work. And one thing I also plead is that, see, it's about time when we are appointing people for position, the person should have a basic background on that position. Like, for instance, if you're picking someone to the health sector, appointing someone, the person should have basic knowledge about the health sector. It shouldn't be a finance, somebody who is into finance, appointing as Minister of Health.
Like Omani Boama should have been a health minister.
Omani Boama
He was a doctor.
Yeah, he was a doctor. So we have people, but we have people who have basic knowledge. Well, sometimes when you read the profile of these people, they didn't study one thing. Obi or study logistics, or security and all that. But he picked one thing. I mean, to measure in. So this kind of person can fit in, maybe because they have basic knowledge on all this. That is different. But the person who does not even have knowledge in education, appointing us as Minister of Education, you get it. So I feel like when it has to do with appointment, it's about time we stop appointing people who do not even have the how are you going to feel like the cries of these people? Because if you're appointing someone who has a basic knowledge about the field, automatically so let's pick Zanetta for instance. She's into health, okay? So such person being a minister of health, so you get it. I'm not saying that the current minister, Mental Kando, is not doing his work, but I'm just giving a scenario. So with this particular, for when part there, many are right. The part of the executive is becoming too much.
It's becoming too much. It's too
future purpose, ain't it?
Right, Miss Regina.
Yes.
Yes, what?
So I would say I would agree with Afenyo Macken because let me use the Galamsey issue for example, where the past administration, that is the president, had the power to lease out the forest reserves for mining. But when President John Dramani Mahama came, he repealed it and took it off, and I think that is a good thing. When it comes to national security or security issues, I think they need to leave it for the right people. I know the president has the right to appoint whoever he wants to, but when you're random, how would I say, it's not a random issue, or it's not a random appointment. We are talking about security, and as she said, they can maybe appoint someone without proper verification. What if, I know that they will definitely do a background check, but how is it 100% guaranteed? When President John Dramani Mahama appoints someone, that person goes through the rights process. They go through vetting. All parliamentarians, they just choose key people to investigate them, question them, and all that. So I think it should be like that. And as she's saying, now the power the executive are, should I say, possessing, is kind of scary. Because see, trust me, as she said, what if one day a president come Sebio and I say, excuse me, to so now dream boom, where they we Rastafarian papa now about your president, but just in a gentle look, and starts doing certain things. You can't do anything about it because he's the president and he holds that power. So I would say that we need to be very cautious and careful when it comes to certain powers that the president can possess.
Right. So for this one, the Afenyo said it.
It's Afenyo.
It's Afenyo. Right. Thank you so much for joining us on the news headline review. Up next, we have Today in History with Miss Regina Bless.
Bringing you today in history on this day, 1914, South African anti-apartheid leader Dr. Abdullahi Aburuham, a prominent South African medical doctor, anti-apartheid activist, and leader of the African People's Organization, died on this day, 1940, at age 69 in Cape Town, as the first non-white member of the Cape Town City Council from 1905 to 1940. His death caused widespread concern, drawing tributes from across political lines. Birth of Rihanna. Ruben Rihanna Fenty was born on this day 1988. She is a Barbadian singer, businesswoman and actress, an influential figure in popular culture. She is known for her multifaceted career, artistic reinventions and eclectic fashion styles. Regarded as a pop and fashion icon, Rihanna is one of the best-selling music artists of all time, with estimated sales of over 250 million records. Ireland allows sale of contraceptives. The Irish government passed the the Family Planning Amendment Act, legalizing the sale of non-medical contraceptives such as condoms and spermicides to people over 18 without a prescription. This landmark narrow 83 to 80 votes broke with the Catholic Church's influence, expanding access beyond the 1979 law that required prescriptions for contraceptives. To some global observances, Love Your Pet Day. Pet lovers everywhere observe National Love Your Pet Day. It focuses on giving extra attention to our pets. The day encourages pampering our pets and focusing on the special relationship pets hold in our lives. National Handcuff Day. To commemorate the anniversary of the modern swinging bull ratchet handcuff patented by George A. Carney on February 20, 1912. This day recognizes the evolution of restraint technology, highlighting the shift from heavy, cumbersome shackles to more efficient, lighter, and adjustable handcuffs used by law enforcement. Lastly, National Leadership Day. It is dedicated to empowering individuals to recognize their potential to lead, influence, and create positive change within their communities and workplaces. Founded to promote proactive leadership, the day encourages developing empathy, responsibility, and intentional positive influence in everyday life. And that's all for today on Today in History and some global observances live on GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina Bless, for Today in History and some observances of the day. Up next, we have Debbie's Grill.
Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that concern the state, void of politics, fear, or favor. A 29-year-old man has died following a hit-and-run crash at the Circle Overpass in Accra after reportedly being turned away by 3 major hospitals due to unavailability of bed space. The victim, Charles Emisa, an engineer at Promasidor Ghana Limited, makers of cowbell milk and other food products, was involved in the crash on February 6th at 10:32 p.m. Ambulance 15 under Charlie Watch received a walking alert about the incident. The crew mobilized a minute later and arrived at the scene at 10:35, where Emisa was found lying on the road with profuse bleeding from a deep shoulder laceration. Initial vital signs recorded 10:36 p.m. Blood pressure rising, pulse, respiratory rate 25 breaths per minute, oxygen saturation 99%. The team controlled the bleeding using bandages and applied a cervical collar. At the hospital, the ambulance departed for the police hospital, arriving 3 minutes later. The facility reportedly declined to admit him, citing no available beds. Even the offer to use the ambulance trolley was rejected due to lack of space. The crew then transported the patient to Ridge General Hospital, where he was again refused admission for the same reason. At 11:20 p.m., the ambulance reached Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Staff there allegedly instructed the crew to continue to the University of Ghana Medical Center, warning that further transports could endanger the patient's life. Despite negotiations, no hospital staff attended to the patient. While still at Kolebu, Emisa's condition deteriorated and he went into cardiac arrest and was administered immediately but was unsuccessful. The patient reportedly presented with fixed, dilated pupils, cold skin, and no sign of life. A doctor on duty later certified him dead and instructed the ambulance crew to convey the body to the mortuary. The circumstances surrounding the hospital rejection and the patient's subsequent death have prompted scrutiny of emergency admission protocols, bed capacity management, and responsiveness of major referral hospitals in Accra. This is not the first time such things are happening, and this is not the first time we are hearing of this. But I kept asking myself, why should a hospital lack bed where they will admit a patient, where the patient will need to sleep on for treatment? How? These are basic things that a hospital should never lack. Bed where patients will sleep, and you like how? And then this man just lost his life just like that because there is no bed. And even when they required that he should be treated in the ambulance, they said no. Is this intentional, or there is more to this? This is not the first time things like this is happening. And I can boldly tell you that 99% of people who die daily do not die because of the disease which they brought to the hospital or the disease that killed them. It's not because of the illness. It's because of the recklessness of some hospital and the recklessness of some nurses and doctors. I'm telling you, 99% of the people who die daily, I wish the dead can be interrogated. Like, you get to know that people die not because of the illness which sent them to that hospital. It's not because of that illness. But it's because of the recklessness of these hospitals and these doctors and the nurses. By force. If you feel like you can't do the work, stop and go and find something else to do. Because when you speak, they feel like, as for nurses and doctors, they come on because the right thing is not being done. How do you send a patient away because there is no hospital? There is no bed. There is no bed. Fine, that is enough. Come and treat the person in the ambulance. And something that can be prevented led to the death of this man. Where are you, Kane? Maybe this man is the breadwinner of the family. You have no idea. You have no idea the number of people that this man is sponsoring through education. You have no idea. You have no idea how significant this man means to his family. You have no idea. And I'm watching a man just like that because there is no bed. There is no bed. This bed issue did not start today. Hospitals complaining about bed issue did not start today. But as I said, these are basic things that should not be lacking in our hospitals. There should be excess of beds, even if the rooms are full. You can treat the person outside. And even OPD, why you can treat the person there. But no. That is what we want. That is exactly what we want. I had a counter with a colleague doctor. And we were speaking and he was like, they brought a patient to the hospital. And this patient was sick. I mean, he needed to be treated immediately because his case was very serious. And then the medicine that they will use to cure this particular patient, they don't have the medicine at the hospital. And then he told me that this medicine should not be something that should get shortened in the hospital. There's a medicine that the hospital needs to have in abundance, because day in day out they bring people, and that medicine saves lives. And because they don't have the medicine, they have to look at the man to die. So see, a lot of things are going on. Then I asked him, so what will you tell the family? He said the only thing we will tell them is that we are sorry, we've tried our best. God gives and takes. God gives and take. So, we are sorry. They say, there are certain illness, it can be treated. But because of some basic things, so who are we to blame? Should we blame the Ministry of Health, the Minister of Health? Should we blame the nurses? Should we blame the doctors? Who are we to blame? Because when you're blaming the nurses will tell you that look to the top. It's the Ministry of Health. The Ministry of Health are also saying that look to the government. The government are not giving us what they're supposed to give us. So who should we blame? This is sad because I remember when my big brother got exploded. When he was sent to the hospital, the nurse who was being assigned to treat him did whatever he was supposed to do for the day and he left. And then another nurse who was not assigned, who was not on duty, came to treat him. And after that, we had a call that my brother was dead. Said then, said then, it is only God who knew. It is only God. Because my brother was getting better. He spoke, so what happened? And even the nurse who was assigned to my brother said he herself, like she herself, she's surprised. Because my brother was okay, she spoke to my brother, everything was fine. And then she told my brother that they've assigned me to you, so I'm done with what I'm supposed to do for the day. No one will come here to treat you. So next no be one when the someone they call her. A drop bay and I call one. Up to now, we've not gotten an answer to that. Up till now, we've not gotten an answer to that. We've not. The number of people who die in our hospital die because of the recklessness of this so-called people who call themselves nurses and doctors. Some, because we have some of these nurses who are so diligent to what they do. We have some of these doctors that are so, they just want to save life. Trust me, not all the doctors and the nurses feel happy when things goes bad. Like the friend I'm talking about, he was like, this is a medicine that should not even go shorting in a hospital. So why don't they have the medicine? And they just have to look at the man to die because there was no medicine. And they can't tell the man. So the person is suffering. They were all just standing there. There is nothing they can do at that point. And they'll come back and tell you that we are sorry. Kai. Hey, yo. I'm told that if such things, like you've not experienced it before and someone is speaking about it, you just hear it in your ears as if they are singing poem or they are reciting poem to you, or somebody is telling you a fabricated story. So it happens to you, you understand what I'm trying to say. You will get it. And some time ago, I remember my dad was very sick and he was admitted into the hospital. And then there was this nurse that came around, wanted to inject my dad and all that. God being so good, it looks as if she has forgotten something. So she went back. And then when the doctor came, he was like, who brought this here? My dad was like, one of the nurses. He said, no, this is not the medicine. So you see, please, our nurses, please, we are begging you. If you have problem, keep it in the house, not in the hospital. That is why we are saying that if you don't have the passion, it is not by force. When you are working with, you are dealing with the lives of people. You are dealing with the lives of humans. Your one mistake will kill someone. And you know the most saddest part? The hospital will never accept it. They will never accept it. So they will show themselves. They will not. They will not accept the fact that it was their mistake. Never. So major to mupa omunye. if you knew what killed that person, the person you knew and all that, like by now, you see a lot of hospitals and a lot of doctors and a lot of nurses, because most of them do not even know what they are doing there. They don't know what they are doing there. Bed. Because of bed, common bed. We've lost this man just like that. And some of this nurses, pride. It's not about pride though. It's not about pride, because the person who comes to the hospital, we know some of these patients they behave some way, but that where you are working is a life-saving center. That is what you do. That is what you have purported in your heart to do. So you do it and you do it well. And then you do it and then you end up killing people. I mean, breadwinners of family and all that. And then you come up and the next time I hear somebody come in to tell me that nyame de be yawo no. When they are done with their things, they'll come and stand in front of you and tell that who pumped that into our head? Say until the Jamaninka. Then it ends there. And no, like yesterday. Please, I think the government needs to take this up. If possible, if the hospital can be sued, 3 hospitals, Kolebu, Rich, they say need bed, and they are all saying the same thing. Minister of Health, mental candor. What is going on? It's becoming too much. It's becoming too much. A lot is going on, and they are covering it up. Please. And sometimes the doctors and the nurses, they are even afraid to speak, because of can't say assemble back. So please, Minister of Health, a lot is going on. Oh, we are begging you. Be up and doing. We can't keep losing people because of bed. And bed is so your day. Bed in you want to ayo. Thank you for making time with me on Debbie's Girl.
Thank you so much, Miss Debbie, for that girl. Thank you too for joining us on the first segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. We'll be going for the news shortly. Please stay and stay with us.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare.
Regina Bliss.
Deborah Adoso.
And I am Esina Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to the morning news on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up, government to rename National Investigations Bureau to the Bureau of National Intelligence under the Security and Intelligence Agencies Bill. In related news, Minority Leader criticized Security Bill over power concentration concern, close sack to down tools on March 9th over unimplemented salary structure. Legal practitioner Martin Pebu described Chief Justice's dismissal of petition against Electoral Commission leadership and the Special Prosecutor as unsurprising. Also coming up in the news, Finance Committee Chair calls for accountability in cocoa sector mismanagement. These and many more coming up your way shortly in business, sports and showbiz. National Investigations Bureau is set to be renamed the Bureau of National Intelligence as part of reforms to streamline the country's security architecture. Interior Minister Mohammed Mubarak announced the change, citing confusion with the National Investment Bank as a key reason. The proposed Security and Intelligence Agencies Bill aims to clarify the mandate of intelligence institutions, reinforce parliamentary oversight, and balance operational effectiveness with constitutional protections. However, the bill has faced opposition from the minority caucus, who expressed concerns about inadequate human rights safeguard and potential politicization. In response, Minority Leader Alexander Penyo-Makin has voiced strong opposition to the Security and Intelligence Agencies Bill, citing fears of leading to excessive power concentration with the national security apparatus and potentially infringe citizens' rights. The bill proposes significant changes, including renaming the National Intelligence Bureau to the Bureau of National Intelligence and altering the structure of security governance. Penyo-Makin argues the bill grants the President too much appointing authority, including the power to appoint National Security Coordinator and Directors General of Intelligence Agencies without parliamentary vetting. The minority caucus support reforming Ghana's national security, but it says the current draft is deeply flawed and requires amendment to ensure accountability and constitutional grounding. In other news, the Civil and Local Government Staff Association of Ghana, CLOSAG, has announced a nationwide strike effective March 9th, citing government's failure to implement a new salary structure agreed in 2019. Despite signing two memoranda of understanding, government has not fulfilled its commitment, prompting CLOSAG to take industrial action. The strike, affecting over 60,000 members, is expected to disrupt public services across the country. CLOSAG's Executive Secretary Isaac Bampo Addo expressed frustration over the ongoing strike, while urging the government to address their concern. Also, the Chief Justice's decision to dismiss petitions against Electoral Commission leadership and the Special Prosecutor has been met with mixed reactions. Private legal practitioner Martin Pebu described the dismissal as unsurprising, while others like Franklin Kujo, president of Imani Africa, praised the decision as a demonstration of judicial independence. The Chief Justice, Paul Bafo-Boni, determined that the 7 petitions filed against the Electoral Commission chairperson and her deputies, as well as 3 separate petitions targeting Special Prosecutor Kisie Jabin, failed to establish a prima facie case warranting no further investigation. Pebu, however, is calling for transparency, urging authorities to publish the petitions and allowing for public scrutiny and debate. In other news, the chair of the Finance Committee of Parliament has sparked controversy by suggesting that former appointees of the Akufo-Addo government should face consequences for their role in mismanaging the cocoa sector. Adongo's remarks comes amid growing concern over the sector's financial woes, including 17.8 billion debt burden and operational liabilities totaling 16 billion. The cocoa industry is Ghana's second largest export earner, supporting over 800,000 farming households. However, mismanagement has led to reduced production, delayed payment to farmers, and environmental degradation. The Nkoko Nkiti program aimed at boosting poultry sector is facing criticism over potential corruption risk, according to Member of Parliament, Food, Agriculture and Cocoa Affairs Committee Dominic Nitiwul has expressed concern about the initiative as a breeding ground for corruption. The program, launched by His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama, aims to distribute 3 million birds nationwide to support commercial, medium-scale and local poultry farmers. However, critics argue the initiative lacks transparency and adequate infrastructure. Away from that, Member of Parliament for Gomoa Central is spearheading a private member's bill to make paternity fraud a criminal offense in Ghana. The proposed legislation seeks to shield men from emotional and financial manipulation, safeguarding them against being coerced into raising children not biologically related to them. The proposed legislation would also introduce mandatory DNA testing after childbirth to establish paternity and prevent future disputes. Although critics argue it unfairly targets women, supporters claim it protects family integrity and children's right to know their biological parent. If passed, the bill will impose prison terms on individuals found guilty of paternity fraud. In business, the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies and the Chamber of Bulk Oil Distribution Companies have threatened to embark on a strike over the alleged unlawful diversion of funds from liquefied petroleum gas fund to the Ghana Cylinder Manufacturing Company. In a joint statement, the two associations vowed to explore all legal means to reverse the action. According to them, the move constitutes a flagrant breach of statutory mandate, a dangerous sabotage of national energy policy, and unacceptable betrayal of public trust. They described the alleged diversion as a blatant deviation from the fund's original purpose. The association are demanding immediate reversal of the action through the following measures: to seize all disbursements to Ghana Cylinder Manufacturing Company from the liquefied petroleum gas fund immediately, to also reverse allocation made to Ghana Cylinder Manufacturing Company and restore the funds to their lawful purpose, reaffirm statutory mandate, government to publicly confirm that liquefied petroleum gas fund will finance only bottling plant and unsafe cylinder withdrawal, implements quarterly public reporting on all fund utilization with independent audit verification. They added that these are not industry requests but legal and moral imperatives. According to COMAC and Chamber of Bulk Oil Distribution Companies, the Liquefied Petroleum Gas Fund was established under legislative instrument LI 2262 as amended and LI 2481 implemented by the National Petroleum Authority on April 1st with 3 explicit, legally binding objectives. The further noted that the fund was never intended as discretionary capital for ad hoc allocations. The associations also maintained that redirecting it to the Ghana Cylinder Manufacturing Company is not administrative flexibility but a statutory violation that demolishes the foundation of Ghana's liquefied petroleum gas safety and infrastructure framework. The two associations are calling on government to urgently address the matter. To sports, Majority Chief Whip in Parliament, Roxanne Dafiamekpo, has promised to donate 3 months of his salary to help the growth of Ghana Sports Fund. The Ghana Sports Funds passed into existence serve as the dedicated source of funding for the development of sports in Ghana. The Multi-Source Sports Development Fund is designed to support athlete welfare, infrastructure development, grassroots sports, and systemic talent identification. Earlier this month, the National Investment Bank made its first donation to the fund, expressing its commitment to the development of sports in the country. That action has been followed by Dafia Mekpo, who has also decided to donate to the fund. The bill's passage marks a significant policy move aimed at addressing long-standing funding challenges, with government hopeful that the fund will provide a more structured and reliable source of support for Ghanaian sports. Also in sports, Ghana Football Association president says he's worried about the spate of injuries to Black Stars players as Ghana's national men's football team prepares to compete at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The Ghana Football Association president shared this concern in an interview with the GFA media, where he addressed varied issues on Ghana football, including Ghana Football Association making an annual investment of 100,000 to purchase footballs to club competing in Ghana's Division 2 and 3 leagues. At the time of writing, multiple Black Stars players, including Mohamed Salisu, Francis Abu, and Daniel Kofiture, have been ruled out of competing in the upcoming World Cup due to significant injuries. In showbiz, Women of Valor 2026 has been launched at the residence of the British High Commission to Ghana in Accra, with policymakers, media professionals, activists, and survivors in attendance. The event was held under the theme "The Pursuit of Fearlessness." At the center of the launch were emotional testimonies from abuse survivors whose experience are shaping this year's advocacy focus. Musician Dinah Hobson recounted how a marriage she entered at age 21, believing shared Christian values would guarantee peace, gradually became emotionally abusive behind closed doors. Despite a public image as a successful musician, she revealed that she endured repeated threats on her life. She added there were also threats to obtain a weapon and kill them both, a situation that eventually forced her to leave and seek help. Actor and advocate Vicky Zuga also shared a painful experience, beginning with a relationship in 2013 that quickly turned violent. After leaving that relationship, she entered another which she said became physically abusive even during pregnancy. Speaking at the launch, Director of the Domestic Violence and Victim Support Unit assured women and young people that protection mechanisms are in place. She noted that DOSU has been operational since 1998 and continues to strengthen its response system as cases of abuse evolve. Founder of Women of Valor, Nana Aba Namoa, said the courage of survivors directly inspired this year's team. According to her, the pursuit of fearlessness is about creating safe spaces where women can speak up without fear and trust that institutions will protect them. The Men Women of Valor 2026 event is scheduled to take place on March 7th in London, where stakeholders are expected to continue discussions on collaboration between the media, policymakers, and activists to protect women and girls. On some international updates, Ivory Coast is considering cutting the price it pays farmers for cocoa beans to align with Ghana, two government sources told Reuters, as the world's two largest producers of chocolate face a major crisis. Senior Ivory Coast officials said all options were on the table as the government debates whether to follow Ghana, which has already cut its farm gate price by 28.6% for the rest of 2025 and 2026 season's main crop, in coordination with Abidjan. The farm gate price set at the start of the harvest season is the amount of money farmers receive for their product after harvest. The discussions with Ghana within the Ivorian government on cutting the price to align with Ghana have not previously been reported. Meanwhile, the Ivory Coast Ghana Cocoa Initiative said the two African countries, which together account about 60% of global output, had been coordinating closely since the onset of the sector crisis. The second official said the continual price fall, which has seen cocoa drop by nearly 50% in recent months left government with little room to maneuver. Cocoa feathers on ICE exchange fell to their lowest level in 2 to 1 2 years as concerns about unsold cocoa stocks in Ivory Coast and Ghana continue to weigh on prices. An interministerial committee has met over the issue and a decision could come soon, the two sources said. A spokesperson from Ivory Coast government did not respond to Reuters' request for comment. Alex Asanvo, executive secretary, said the two countries were adapting to the sudden market reversal and has taken measures to prevent structural damage. He said the trading rooms of the Ivory Coast Coffee and Cocoa Council and Ghana's Cocoa Board remained in regular contact. Asanvo also defended living income differential introduced in 2019 to boost farmers' earnings, noting that recent market volatility underscores its relevance. They are preparing a meeting between the two countries to strengthen coordination amid financial pressures on farmers. Exporters and buyers expect Ivory Coast to announce a cut soon, saying the question is no longer if but when, they said. And that's a wrap on the morning news update. Thank you so much for sticking tuned to your radio. Do want to log on to all streaming platforms as well as logging on to our website at www.GhanaTalksRadio.com for more news stories. My name is Deborah Adoso. Good morning.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast. French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare.
Regina Bless.
Deborah Adoso.
And I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. You're tuned into your favorite online radio station. We are streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio, on X, formerly known as Twitter, on Ghana Talks Radio, and on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio. You can log on, send in your comments. Let's get interactive. Right. This morning, we are going to be looking at a few news headlines before we zoom into the second segment of the show. And as usual, I'm sitting right here in the studios with my knowledgeable ladies. We'll be looking at some interesting, relevant news stories that are making waves in the news and issues that matter to you every morning right here on the show. They'll be diving into it and sharing their perspectives. Right. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Is everything all right? Are we okay? And then should I order breakfast? What do you have for breakfast? Yeah, oh, you're whole people. I thought you already plan your breakfast guide before you get here. Miss Gina.
Yes.
What are you doing? What are you doing, Abby? I see that. Right. Let's look at some news headlines. So for our first story is from Dumelo. I don't know if you saw it yesterday. I was so excited, but let's get into it. Dumelo promises free Ghana-made cocoa drinks to peoples in Ayawaso West. John Dumelo, the Member of Parliament for Ayawaso West Wagon, has announced that all public basic school pupils from class 1 to class 4 in his constituency will receive free Ghana-made cocoa drinks once a week, starting March 2nd, 2026 and continuing until the end of the year. Speaking on the initiative, he highlighted the nutritional benefits of cocoa, describing it as a highly nutritional powerhouse, rich in antioxidants, iron and magnesium, nutrients essential for cognitive development and sustaining energy levels throughout the school day. Beyond health benefits, the program is aimed at supporting local cocoa farmers and manufacturers, enhancing social school attendance, and instilling national pride among children. This initiative boosts local industry, encourages consistent school participation, and helps our children appreciate the gold of our land, Mr. Dumelo stated in his. The NP added that the program reflects his belief that a healthy child is a teachable child and underscores a commitment to bringing and building a stronger, healthier, and smarter future for constituency. So this was what was stated in the press release he brought out. Cocoa drink for basic students from class 1 to class 4. John Dumelo, I think maybe that chair he will not. His MP, he's not leaving anytime soon. Looking at what he's bringing on board there. Anyways, what do you think?
Yeah, it's a good start because I feel like he's doing well. This is his first time in Parliament and also being a member of Parliament for Ayawaso West Wagon. I think he stood in the previous election, but the NPP won. Yes, and then he came the second time, and then this time around, like, he won. And looking at what he's doing, unless he decides that I'm not going again, someone like him, like, no one can take him out because he's doing massively well. And then giving cocoa drinks to these students is good. He's finding a way to keep these children in school. Children like things like that. Imagine that when you come to school in a week, you'll be getting cocoa drink. It means they're man, so you come. And we have the nutrition, the nutritious benefits, the nutrients and all that. Cocoa is good. It boosts your energy, okay? It gives you, the vitamins and all the nutrients that you need to grow your body and all that. And that is why it's good that even in a week, if you don't get to take anything at all, have a Milo in your system because it's good. So doing this, it's aside the nutritional benefits. Everyone can school, they always want to come to school because they feel like when they come, obenya BBAD, okay, it's not every day, but once in a week, it's good. And he's going to do this from class 1 to P4. This is not easy, and he's going to buy, like, supply these students, or is it gift out the drink to the students every year, which means that the cost is on him, and he's going to do that from now to the ending of the year. And so this is a great initiative that needs to be planned. It's not about you coming out with something big that you cannot do. This might look little, but trust me, it's not little. These children will really appreciate it. So I remember when they brought this school feeding program, the free school feeding program from nursery to JHS. Students were going to school because sometimes Akolan school on Didi, you'll be surprised to know that some parents do not even care whether you eat before going to school or not. And so when they brought this free school feeding program, students go to school because you need retentive memory. you can't. The day you don't eat and then you come here, how do you feel? Something me like this, I feel dizzy. I feel dizzy because, and I feel kind of like restless. Because I'm weak. I need energy to do what I want to do. But what's the would you have energy now? So that is the same thing. When you eat the like everything is active, you are even ready to study. And it's going to boost this kind of it's going to put this kind of happiness, intense happiness and joy in kids. You know, this kids have this kind of happiness when they see things like that is what they want. I mean, drink with some sort of biscuit and all that. So for me, it's a good one. And John Dumelo, he's doing so well.
In a way, do you see it boosting any business or?
Of course, yes, of course.
Getting the materials to produce.
Of course, it's going to boost business, and it's also promoting our cocoa. It's putting our cocoa out there, our cocoa drink. Okay, so the company you will be purchasing those cocoa, the cocoa drink for, will also gain. They'll get what? It will profit them. Yes, it will profit them because they will get the money. And then they'll purchase more cocoa. You get it? When they get the money, when you're running a business and then the business goes on as planned, I mean, you are happy because wherever you supply your group, wherever you import or get your goods from, the person also gets what he or she wants. So when it's something like that, they are going to buy a lot of the cocoa beans, which will be used in doing the cocoa drinks and all that. The farmers will get their own, the industry will get their own, the employees will also get paid because they say our business is running as it's used to be. The children are also happy because at the end of the day, the finished good gets to them, and that's the cocoa drink.
Right.
So it's good.
Will you go to school because of cocoa drink?
I would say it's a contributing factor.
You go to school because of cocoa
yes,
drink?
it's not because of cocoa drink, but it's a factor that would should I say drive your is it urge to go to school. It's just like, you know, that maybe the next day is one of your colleagues' birthday, and that friend always, anytime any birthday be omochiche baby, will you skip school?
No.
I'll not skip school. I'll go to school. And you know, these kids are not like adults who don't fancy certain things, but they fancy everything. But when it comes to adult, we can choose to go be like, oh, now say I can buy it myself. But for them, it comes once in a lifetime. So they would see this as a bigger and greater opportunity. And I would say it's a good thing because I would say most of these students do not even have, should I say, they are not coming from a stable background. They are not coming from a stable background where they don't just even the three healthy meal, they don't get it to eat each and every day. And one thing I've realized also is most of these students come to school on empty stomachs, and this cocoa drink would really go a long way and help them. And also, as you mentioned, it will create jobs from the people they would purchase this product from, and also to them. The more money is you. I
think they are going to purchase from a company.
Yeah.
You even have Milo drink that they have made it in a way like Calipo.
Yeah.
I think niche.
Yeah. So maybe but this time around it's going to be locally made.
Yeah.
So you know, it's going to help a lot. Let's move on. Gender Ministry takes custody of baby abandoned as Elmina. The Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection has taken temporary custody of a newborn baby found abandoned near the estate in Elmina in the Central Region, assuring the public that the child is in stable condition and receiving medical care. In a statement issued yesterday, the ministry said the baby, believed to be about a day old at the time she was found, is currently under medical supervision and responding well to treatment. Meanwhile, the Ghana Police Service, working in collaboration with the Department of Social Welfare, has launched investigations to identify and locate the mother or any close relatives of the baby. The ministry stressed that the infant's overall well-being remains its top priority, adding that arrangements have been put in place to ensure she is properly taken care of as investigations continue. The Gender Ministry also commended residents who rescued the baby and urged members of the public with relevant information to assist with ongoing investigations. In addition, the ministry appealed to parents or guardians facing challenges, particularly in cases involving unplanned or crisis pregnancies, to seek support through appropriate social welfare services rather than resort to abandonment. It further encouraged the public to make use of its helpline of Hope Call Center on toll numbers for counseling, guidance, or to report concerns involving children and other vulnerable persons. So I think yesterday we saw in the news that a baby was abandoned in the bush somewhere in Elmina. This morning we are seeing from the Ministry of Gender and Children that they've taken custody of the baby. Some people are in need of baby and they are stealing. Some people have gotten babies and they have abandoned them. Miss Regina.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, what is happening? What is happening? Because it's serious. Obienya. Watching.
Yes.
Obi pe. Desperation.
Oria.
Oh, serious? Yes, the truth. Wakwa kuria. Hey, sometimes I feel like God blesses the wrong people.
Exactly.
Serious.
Yeah, God blesses the wrong people.
That's how I feel sometimes.
That's not how you feel. That is
actually the reality.
Yes, because see, as Christians, you can do whatever the Bible says from A to Z, and you are still suffering.
Like you get it.
Or living the worldly life is very rich. Now to the main issue at hand. That is why we have condoms, contraceptives. The condom is to protect yourself from unplanned pregnancy and also STDs. And the contraceptive also, I think within 3 days of the sex, you can take it to avoid unplanned pregnancy. And I learned we also have spermicides. I think
to kill the sperm.
To kill a sperm, Now, if you know you are not ready for pregnancy, we even have family planning. If you know you are not ready for pregnancy, make sure that you don't indulge in sex.
Force.
Practice abstinence. If you know that you can't practice it, use the condom and contraceptives. And the contraceptives is not advisable because within a year you are supposed to take it 3 times only. But ebi ma ye toughy. Omo koba no manom. Oho ye wo de sen a, chese wo de bia koba onom eyi. And I remember social studies, they taught us withdrawal method. This is for the men. One person be pieguma, withdraw fast. Pew! You withdraw. Don't wait for it to enter. And also, I don't know if there's sanction for people, especially mothers who abandon their children. So much also papa, because I know there are orphanage homes. If you don't want the child, send it there.
At least you can go and be looking at him or her once in a while. If you save something, then you go and take your baby back.
You take your baby back. But we are to naturally it's the same way. Sa akolane penesha wa udiemu and our one is our to naturally. See, this all boils down to protection and also the contraceptives and family planning and all that. That is all. I think they need education on it. That if you don't want pregnancy, do this, do that. And we have methods where women can also go and freeze their eggs. Go and freeze it and be enjoying your sex. Simple as that. But don't torture an innocent child. So just imagine this child was not found. Or better, why am I so we are
I see a chicken call Robin.
Oh no, we are not That's why humans are first class animals.
No, we are not humans.
Animals,
yeah.
Hey.
We have the Homo sapiens.
The most dangerous animal on earth is human.
It's human. I agree with you. People are very heartless.
9 months. See the pain you go
Look
through.
at the
9
journey.
months.
It's
That is what everybody will say. Yeah, so we have people who are desperately looking for child though. People do not sleep. People cry every night, okay? That is why we have a lot of women at prayer camps, not because of anything, or because they want a child. Yes, we have people who are rich and they have children, like they want children and they are not getting. And then we have people who have the means to give birth and they also do not want it. So, as Regina said, if you feel like you are the person who cannot keep your legs closed, then you should look for a safer means. The withdrawal thing you are doing, me, I won't advise that one.
Because little can still make you pregnant.
That one, I won't advise it.
Baby, did you bring it out early? Yes. 9 months later.
You are pregnant. No. As for that one, I won't advise that. But at least like condom, or you go. That is, we have is it family planning?
Yes.
Family planning.
We have the one they insect it in your hand. If you feel like
They even have the tablets.
Yes, simple.
Yeah, the morning pills.
And be going your way and be going and coming. No one. It's your whole life. But if not, then we understand that sometimes someone will tell that it's a mistake or whatever. Even if it's a mistake, but what if that is the only child you are going to give birth to on earth? And then you're going to discard this child? What do you want to
Yes, so when the person
comes out, if the person doesn't like, the person will send the baby to the orphanage home.
No, even you, the mother, you take the baby to the
orphanage home. Simple. But if I go to home, they will tell somebody will come to adopt that child. But don't forget that one day you regret that one day. Because I can't know who even if you see the child, how are you going to recognize that this child? It is only in movies that
mothers have a way of identifying.
Stop.
You can't. It will take time.
Yeah, you didn't even see this child grow. No, a bad it is only in movies. So please, if you're not the simple answer, if you're not ready to give birth, maybe use the contraceptives or go to the hospital. They will lecture you on that, or you can even read it. The phone you have, you can research on it and make your way around it. Okay. And the thing is, don't open your leg for a man who is not serious.
Because I believe the man was supportive.
The lady wouldn't have done that, because we have men who will tell you that keep the child, but we have men who will tell you that I didn't send you. Okay, I didn't send you. I don't know whose burden is it now. It is your burden because you are carrying the child, not the man. So you ought to be very, very careful. So I feel like this whole issue, it should be taken seriously. If the woman is caught, she should be arrested, because you cannot wrap a child in a rubber or your way. Is the child a refuse, and you are tying a living being in rubber, plastic rubber? No.
Right.
Some people even dump the child in the toilet. Toilet the ocean you know the toilet water. So please.
So looking at all this situation, where does it boil down to? Does it boil down to the individual, or maybe the hardship?
Which hardship? Don't blame hardship. Hardship never could be on name. Now I am found war. Yeah, once now Sergeant. Yeah, morning, sweet morn. Now the result has come. You are leaving it for who? You want to blame the government? No, don't blame the
government. And so when I also.
Sure, a mustache.
It boils down to the individual.
Yes.
It boils down to the individual.
You can make up. So fine, we are all here, right? Maybe you have it in mind that you want to get married first. That is your intention. So it boils down to the individual. The decision you make. You can set a goal for yourself. Maybe you want to start dating at the age of 30 years or at the age of 35 years. It's your own decision. Maybe you also want to start dating as early as 15 years or 16 years. It's your own decision. Yeah. So you should be ready that the consequences that come after that, whether positive or negative, be ready to chest it, because that's your own decision. And every decision you make comes with its positive and negative aspects. So it's to the individual.
A lack of home training, and I say
lack of home training, no kakaka, but sometimes parents does their best, but they don't follow you to the schools, they don't follow you to the street, they don't follow you to the market. As you are grown, does your mom follow you? Even sometimes she doesn't even ask you of your personal life. So when you go out there, it's your decision. If somebody tell you, "Listen, give me your number," it's your own decision.
So now when I'm going out, my mother will ask me, "Will you come today?"
You get it. You get it. Because she knows that like where you've got into now, you are grown. You know the right from the wrong. So your mother cannot decide for you. There cannot be more number and farmer. No, at this age,
no.
You know what to do.
She believes you know
what to do. Exactly.
I said, "Please, will you come today? So I'll lock my door."
You get it.
Ekufuado appointees must be whipped over cocoa crisis. Adongo. The majority in parliament has claimed that the appointees of the previous Ekufuado administration deserve severe punishments for the alleged mismanagement of the cocoa sector. The comments come amid ongoing challenges in the industry, prompting the government of President John Dramani Mahama to introduce reforms aimed at stabilizing cocoa production. Addressing journalists on Thursday, Chairman of Parliament's Finance Committee Isaac Adongo accused officials under the previous administration of failing to properly manage critical logistics at the Ghana Cocoa Board. According to him, Cocoa Board had 2,806,000 bales of juice sack at the port, but cleared only 91,000, leaving the remainder uncleared. He further alleged that just days before leaving office, the outgoing administration constructed a supplier and paid 48 million Ghana cedis to procure an additional 80,000 Ghana cedis bales of juice sack. Mr. Adongo described the actions as reckless, saying the mismanagement deprived the state of resources needed to adequately support cocoa farmers. He argued that the conduct of the former appointees contributed to the current difficulties facing the cocoa sector, insisting that accountability was necessary. So the majority is calling for the appointees of ex-president Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's appointees should be lashed, like they should whip them because they mismanage the cocoa sector. Whip there, don't you think it's too extreme? But looking at where we are right now, the issue has gotten out of hand and we need, solutions. They've brought up solutions, but it looks like the minority will just not comply and see the current administration work about it.
And I've seen that some people are saying they should go for another bailout.
Yeah, another bailout.
Another loan. Or the bailout, they don't understand, or they don't understand the circumstance surrounding what is going on. When you talk of whip, I would say whip is even little.
So they should
say we could do some bonina ye dralo. And I say she so gonna di mekwe chun. As I di mekwe ashawase. You see that? That's what they're supposed to do to these people. And I also think that they need to call them forward and question them. They need to be accountable, transparent. Yeah. What happened? Well, just say, where is the money? What did you do with the money? And as it stands now, we are already in debt. And I think just yesterday or today, they've released 855 million Ghana cedis to the farmers that they should pay off their debt. And I think that is a good thing. If you are in debt, you don't go back and take another debt upon yourself. Yeah. When you do that, you are deteriorating the issue. So with the majority leader, I think they should all come together with the minority, all hands on deck to find solutions. I always say that you need to be part of a solution. Don't be part of the problem. The problem is already there, so don't be part of a problem. As a minority, that's what they are doing. They are just fueling it the more, and it wouldn't help. We should find a way and make sure that the cocoa sector debt is being cleared. Yesterday we were here when everyone was forfeiting 1 month salary, 2 month salary for sport funding. I'm not saying sport funding is bad, but the reality on ground is the cocoa sector. Yes, you have to sacrifice. And they should forfeit their 5 month salary each.
I don't know if you also saw that the cocoa farmers also went for a demonstration yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yes, yesterday.
They said what?
Cocoa, I think in the western region or one of the regions, I forgot.
Hey, they should relax.
They went on demonstration, and then I also saw another video of one man saying that the NPP actually paid them, allegedly.
Oh.
The NPP paid them to go for
NPP paid them have a blow.
I don't know.
We don't know how true that is.
How true that
yes.
And so yeah.
And so
they just want to make news. And
I believe when it comes to the cocoa farmers, they have every right to hit the street and demonstrate.
They have every right.
They don't need any political interference before they voice out. So, as you said, they can do it.
They can do it.
Yeah.
If they are going to the cocoa farmers, they are going to the farms to organize press conference and then also ever. What can they do?
They can.
Anyways,
Everything.
thank you so much, Miss Regina. My guests are in and we'll be coming up shortly with the second segment. Please stick and stay with us.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
Ghana Talks Radio, UK, Abrechimemu, and from Ghana Muha at the sound system, which is spinning machine papa, a free amana nearby be good among Ghana Muha. It is a year, we engagement, we wedding, we birthday party. Political parties are more rally, some way sorry, a more crusade. So we'll book carnival or any kind of event. Now we'll pay spinning machine papa a boa sound in the moon at the dia any may come for GTR sounds at the MAO. Your live band and so I would to sa at the frame ya beat me abababua. Ama ujume dia woody and so at me I come up. Yawa enkan popuni mantemo anya aponchi hotel ahope pepe ena yebutu odi ane se wo be frɛ mpanifo ɛwɔ 0546960510 GTR sounds emu ode angaza.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast. French fries.
Coco Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare.
Regina Bliss.
Deborah Adoso.
And I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Ghana Talks Radio, number one.
You are welcome to the second segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. This is your favorite online radio station, and we are streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio, on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio, and on X at Ghana Talks Radio. Tag along and join the conversation. Let's get interactive and engage. We are going to read the comments and then we'll let you know what our guests also think of what you are saying. Right. This is the second segment of the show, and as you know, we come along with knowledgeable guests and the main topic for discussion. They are going to speak to it on matters that matter to you every morning right here on the show. And in order to have a very balanced, conversation, we come along with the dual political parties we have right here in our country. That we are praying that we will get a third force. We are praying so hard that we will get a third force. We are praying. Once we get a third force, these people maybe they'll mellow. So we have from the NPP, we have from the NDC. So from the NPP, we have Emmanuel Chambers, who is the NPP communications team member, and we also have Udase Prima, the NDC communications team member, sitting right there in the studios. They're going to be, getting into the issues this morning. Good morning to you, gentlemen.
Good morning.
How are we doing, Mr. Chambers?
We are responding to life.
You are responding to life. When you say you are responding to life, make it look as if you're on oxygen. You are now responding.
The responding to life means, once there's life, I always say that we give praises to God.
You give praises to God.
No matter the situation we are still living.
You are still living.
Exactly.
You are managing. Or you are not managing. I wouldn't say you are managing.
Every person in this country is a manager.
Some people can manage.
So that is for them. But they should try to manage.
They should try and manage.
Anytime you ask someone, how is a person doing? The first response most times is we are managing.
I'm managing. What affairs are you managing?
That is the point.
Brima,
yes, please.
are you also managing?
By His grace, I'm doing exceedingly well as a result of the good governance of this government.
You and your governance people.
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC government have truly shown us that governance is not anything rocket science. It was as simple as ABCD, and that the NPP really failed us in the last 8 years. And so the reset has come to stay, and every sector of the economy is enjoying. Just yesterday, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama passed the 24-hour he assented to the authority bill, going to establish the 24-hour economy authority to give legal backing to the implementation of the 24-hour economy. And we've started rolling out some of the activities, planning on building 24-hour economy markets. Yes, when you go to our ports and harbour, they're also operating in 24-hour economy. And when you look
but the ports and harbour, they're already operating 24 hours.
No, this time around they have more people. The focus is more people, more productivity as well. So they are running shifts. They have to employ more people. And when you go to our ports and harbour, that's what is going on. When you look at the big push projects too, the building of our roads and construction, I stay at Amasamai, so every day in witness, they're working day and night. So it shows that we have come to, be able to implement this policy to the benefit of everyone, regardless of your political color. And so we call on all Ghanaians to continue to support the NDC and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, so that we're able to effectively implement all our policies to the benefit of everyone as well. Yes, please.
Right. Mr. Chambers, how do you feel about the bill being passed? The 24-hour economy.
For me, I always have one stand on this 24-hour economy, and
which is
surprisingly, people sit everywhere to say that they've begun the 24-hour economy. When the bill was passed yesterday, at the port he's talking about, there's nothing ongoing there. Let's be honest with ourselves. Look, the thing is that we don't need to continue deceiving the Ghanaians. What is red, let's say it's red. What is white, let's say it's white. There's nothing. Look, there is nothing that is ongoing as a result of the 24-hour economy. Let's be honest with our own selves. Whether the port, the harbour, wherever, nothing. Nobody has been recruited. No single soul has been recruited as a result of the 24-hour economy. I think someone passed that statement, and we thoroughly do our checks and realize that it is invalid. I was not the person challenging him. It was another person that was here when NDC communicator said it. I was monitoring the show, so we did our own checks, and it proves that nothing like that. The bill has just been signed yesterday.
Oh, but we see the passport office running 24 hours. Are you saying they've not employed people?
Who has been employed?
So
they tell you that the passport office and some other offices are running 24-hour economy. Thankfully, I am in touch with passport office. I've worked with passport office before. I don't work there now, but if you need a passport, I have people I contact their work to support. I tell you, go there around 7:30 and see if the offices are open. You try going there and see if the offices are open.
But if people are not if they've studied.
People are always, I'm telling you that they close it at that time. They have their specific time they open and the specific time they close. And that is it. You know, they said they were going to do delivery, passport delivery, so that in the evening, instead of sitting in the offices, they will use that time to deliver the passport, traveling passports to people who have registered.
So are they not doing the delivery?
Where?
I've seen some passports being delivered to people. People I know personally.
You see, people you know personally.
Yeah.
But the point is, how many of them are receiving it? And let me tell you one thing. If you have registered for a passport and it's outside Accra, you don't even expect it. You don't expect that they'll deliver it to you. I tell you that I work with them and I have, evidence to people. Every week I register people to go for traveling passport.
Every week,
every day. Look, I register people to go for traveling passport.
So the passport office is not running.
It's 24 not running 24.
So
24
it's running
hours.
from what time to what time?
Normally they close it around somewhere 6-7.
6-7.
Yes.
So when you go there as at 7:30, you know
nobody will attend to you. You try it. You understand? So the thing is that we are all saying that if the 24-hour economy can be implemented successfully, it means that a job one person was doing, we don't get 2 people doing that particular job, right?
3.
We don't have 3 people. Extra 2 people added to the one person. That is best for our nation, because at the end of the day, those people who are hanging on the street, people who are hungry, they also get something doing. Right. But if you have not started it, don't make it, or don't paint pictures and look as if you have started it. I saw someone stood in the chamber, a lady, in fact, a member of parliament, saying that the 24-hour economy has already started because people now move from Bolga to Accra in buses without. I was laughing.
Without what?
They now move from Bolga to Accra in the night. They don't sit down in the dawn, they start the cars and all that. That is her own definition of 24-hour economy. And can you and I accept that is really what they have promised us? Are you telling me that back 2020s or 2000, let's just say 2000, we don't know buses running from Bolga to Accra? Maybe she has not taken a bus there, and that has been our route. We have been taking buses. We know the time when we are supposed to use 15 hours from Wa to Accra. Somewhere 16 hours or 15 from Bolga to Accra. Are you telling me the buses don't run in the night? So please, it's about time we need to fix our mind on this 24-hour economy.
What about the DVLA office?
Is that
the DVLA office? I know they are also running 24 hours. If you go there after their normal working hours, you're not going to see.
I'm really not in touch with the DVLA, so I can't speak much about it. But I'm saying that the port whatever the other office, that is the passport office, I'm telling you it is not true, and it's not a matter we should be looking at. They are now at a certain stage of implementing the 24-hour economy, which we are saying that if the full implementation of it is okay, if they have gone through it and they realize that they can implement it, we are all welcoming it. But the fact is that these are the people, this is the same government that have promised us that they are going to build what they call 24-hour economy markets. They have not even started. In my district, I think they went and secured a land. Nothing is ongoing. Most other districts, and I don't know any constituency they have started building.
For how long have they?
And they have also told us that. They have also told us that they need 4 billion Ghana cedis to execute the 24-hour economy. Where they even I think the chief executive officer or whoever responsible for the 24-hour economy also mentioned to us that they don't have that resources for now. It's just like the budgeted amount is 2 billion Ghana cedis, which they need 4 billion Ghana cedis. The oral team promised that they were going to support them with some amount of money. They have not even received it. You have gone ahead to sign it. I don't know how they are going to perform in magic to get the money. But if they will have the money, they should be clear to us. But they are saying that the money is not up. The one in charge of the 24-hour economy is saying that the money is not up. Now you are saying that you are going to build the market. Which money are you going to use to build the market? If we are seeing the markets, if they have started the market projects, just like John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, promised, that one we can take it for a belief. We can give it a trial. But this is where you have not even started the market. This is where you have not even secured the money that you are telling us. You the same NDC government telling us that this is the amount you need. You need 4 billion. You have not secured the money. You need the markets. You have not built the markets.
But when the previous administration was starting the free SHS and all of that, did anybody ask them where they were going to secure the money from?
No. Look, when we enrolled when the NPP government enrolled the free senior high school, everything that needs to go into it was fully captured. Everything. All other things they were saying was just politics. People were making propaganda.
I didn't see that.
I'm telling you, before the double track, everything it was practically planned before we enrolled the free senior high school. It is not like this case. If there were some outstanding issues that need to be looked at before the implementation of the free senior high school, I dare everyone or I dare anyone to provide it. But I'm telling you, that's what I said. You and I, let's be honest with ourselves. What is supposed to be put in place before the 24-hour economic policy enrollment has not been put in place.
And what do you want them to put in place?
Very well. The market should be built first.
But we already have existing markets.
Did you listen
that
to,
they can actually translate them to work.
Do you listen to the president of the
24 hours?
They said they were going to build markets, and that markets, it means that these markets you can move there at your station. If you are stationed in, let's say, if you are at station B, and the market is built at station C, you can sell in the daytime at your usual place. Then in the night you move there. That is what they said. Now they also told us that they need an amount, like I mentioned earlier, they need an amount of 4 billion. And you have not secured that money. So how are you going to execute it?
Maybe the money is ready, but the building is not ready.
No, then that means that the government is not accountable to us. If you are accountable to us, you tell us the money is ready. Because when the money was not ready, you made us know that the money is not ready. So when it is ready, you must lay before Parliament.
Right.
Has that not been the position of the minority in Parliament, asking them every day for the financing, asking them for the markets and other things?
Right. Primer, what's your reaction?
I think it's unfortunate that my brother is just throwing allegations without providing evidences. Because he spoke about, he said an MP in Parliament said this, you didn't mention her name, her constituency. You mentioned of some places not doing passport services 24. You see, people are even receiving expedite delivery of their passport. What do you call it?
I've witnessed it.
What do you call it? Their passport card. When you go online, everyone is witnessing the speedy. Because it doesn't mean the office has to be open before things are working. Perhaps things are working, what do you call it, indoors, and you're not aware of it. You don't know who is sitting behind the computer that night to operate it. That people will be able to receive their passports in a short period as compared to the past. So I mean, those things, I mean, they are I mean, out there for everyone to experience, and I don't know, the Ghanaian will be the perfect judge. And also going forward, my brother says that he admitted that indeed the government has secured some lands for the 24-hour economic market. As I speak, what central constituency, there's even what do you call it, a back and forth about a certain land that's going to be used for the 24-hour economic market. There was a school, so the government was planning to relocate the school and build the 24-hour market there, and the people are also pulling like some. It shows the commitment. So these are the challenges that we will face, but anyway, there is show of commitment of fulfilling our promises. We think one thing about the NPP is that they think that sloganeering is policy implementation. Policy implementation takes a process. You don't just go just like the way they believe in GhanaTalks, just stand and do it. Just implement a free SHS without any proper planning, without looking into how it was going to be feasible. When His Excellency the former President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo was interviewed by Al Jazeera on how he was going to fund free SHS, he said he prefers to tell the people of Ghana. He didn't even know how he was going to fund the free senior high school. My brother should tell me today, what was the funding for free senior high school? No one knew the source of funding of free senior high school. We're here, they said oil. We're here, they said, what do you call money for cocoa. We hear absolutely, we don't even know till today. You tell me the source of funding for free senior high school. You never had it. You were just doing, implementation anyhow, and the numbers became huge as expected. So if you had done proper plan, you would have known that the numbers will increase over time.
Definitely.
So you need to what? Complete the e-blocks brought by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. We gave you some e-blocks to even support it, but you are still in double track. You implement symbolically. People went to stay home for several months. People got pregnant. We had issues of the minister alarming that children stay home more than the times they spend in school. All these things were problems we were facing. Teenage pregnancy went on the rise.
Right.
That is how inadequate planning brought about. So we are not like them. We will make sure that we will take our time. We have been given a 4-year mandate. It is not a 1 year mandate. I mean, over 1 year, we have done so many things. I can count. We have abolished e-levy. We have abolished COVID-19 levy. We have adjusted VAT. Today, no one is paying what do you call it. Import duties have been reduced. We have a reduced fuel. We have an exchange rate that is stronger. For a long while, Ghanaians are experiencing a strong exchange rate. This is the good governance that we are talking about. Today, everyone is praising the government for the good works that is going on, unless the MPP, I mean, their usual semantics and propaganda. My brother is speaking about 24-hour economy money not being ready. The one in charge of the 24-hour economy at the presidency, Gositano, he made mention that they needed 4 billion Ghana cedis. But the government has released and made an allocation to the 2026 budget of 110 million Ghana cedis, which is to ensure, I mean, the what do you call it? The start of it. And going forward, the government will make sure that you allocate properly for the food. You see, one thing about 24-hour economy, it goes beyond building infrastructures. That's like they think maybe you have to build infrastructure. You have to know. We are going to provide incentives even for businesses, private investors. And the last time I was saying that about, was it 200 to 400 companies have reached out to the Minister of Employment and Labor Relations asking of how they can be rolled onto the 24-hour economy. Because at the end of the day, we are going to provide tax incentives such that they will to employ more people, so there will not be much burden on their income, so that they can pay the workers and be able to work 24-hour economy, morning shift, afternoon shift, evening shift. So it goes beyond just building, facilities or markets. No, the 24-hour economy is going to make sure that individuals that are operating their businesses will get some incentives, will get some tax waivers, will be to participate in this 24-hour economy to help employ the teeming youth that are facing unemployment issues. So gradually we are making progress, and I want my brother and his party to sit and watch us do what they couldn't do. Today their MPs are all over everywhere giving free fuel. Honorable Adam, I saw him giving free fuel to his constituency. You think if the fuel price was previously as it was, you were able to give free fuel today? So they are all enjoying. Just that I understand it's right that you have to criticize, but you have to be constructive. These are not the things that will win you votes. You need to provide alternatives. You need to provide alternatives, and in providing alternatives, you make sure that you give it, and it will be of sound one that the government will indeed take in good faith and go ahead. But every day you just want to hop in. You see, we have starved them with so many scandals in such a way that it's just cocoa. Recently, they have cocoa farmers. All of them have become cocoa farmers. All NPP members have become
your president. And he said he's also a cocoa farmer.
NPP members have become cocoa farmers. Now becoming a battalion of cocoa farmers all of a sudden. But just like Honorable Isaiah Dongo said, with this cocoa issue, yesterday I was scandalized when I did my own research about it. That the NPP has the audacity to talk about cocoa pricing today after ripping off the cocoa farmers. Hey, you are wicked though. Do you know that in 2024 April, as of 2024 April,
the
prices?
No, you already had your time.
No,
the prices. No, you already had your time.
The price of cocoa.
No. You already had your time. So
price.
we introduce the topic. Then, if you want to use that time to respond,
no. I don't speak of
the price of
topics.
The price of cocoa. The price of cocoa, as of April 2024, was $10,000 per ton. Per ton means that's 16 bags. Now, when you do 10,000 multiplied by then the CD to dollar ratio at that time when it was 14 Ghana cedis, you are going to get about 300,000 or 400,000 or so. I just did the calculation this morning. And when you divide it by each bag, a bag of cocoa was supposed to be given to the farmer at 10,000 Ghana cedis. 10,000 Ghana cedis. Yes, they were paying the cocoa farmers 3,125 Ghana cedis at that time. But when we came into power, we said no. We are going to give you 70 to 90% of the global price, and that's what we were paying them. And that's why.
So let me respond to this.
Oh, it makes sense. It's not fair to me. You see that when you were speaking,
you had your time to
I didn't interrupt you. You are not the moderator.
You had your time to speak.
I'm the host.
And I gave him time to also speak.
Oh,
it would be unfair if you also respond, then I have to give him time.
I've
to
not
also
even
respond.
concluded my submission.
Right, be concluding, please.
Senior, don't be doing that.
You come.
So the price then they were supposed to give to the cocoa farmer for a bag was 10,000 Ghana. These people ripped them. I was giving that 3,125. When we came, because of the dollar to CD ratio, it came down because of good governance, and it had to affect them because it was no longer at the 14 and 16 Ghana cedis that we met. It came down to about 10. So the amount they would have gotten, they didn't get. So we were giving them 3,725 Ghana cedis. Today, there's a global price shortfall. So at the end of the day, it is normal. We are giving about 90%. What I mean in the calculation.
Thank you so much, Mr. Brima. Thank you so much. At this juncture, we are going to zoom straight into the major topics we have for this morning.
So do you allow some of these slides to
10 petitions to remove EC OSP leadership dismissed. So I think previously we saw that there were some petitions submitted to the president to remove the OSP, the EC, and 2 of the bosses at the EC. Right, so we will look into the issue and what they presented. A total of 10 petitions seeking the removal of key officials heading 2 major constitutional institutions in Ghana, the Electoral Commission and the Office of the Special Prosecutor, have been dismissed after constitutional scrutiny. 7 of the petitions were directed at the Electoral Commission Chair, Jane Mensah, and her 2 deputies, while 3 targeted the Special Prosecutor, Kisi Ejapin. Under Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution, such petitions must be reviewed by the Chief Justice to determine whether they disclose a prima facie case, a basic legal threshold needed before a formal removal process can proceed. Chief Justice Bafo-Boni ruled that the petitions did not present sufficient evidence to warrant further investigation or the formation of a tribunal, the next step in the constitutional removal process. Consequently, the process ends with this decision and the officials will remain in office. So the petition alleged various forms of misconduct, including abuse of office, a gross incompetence that, in the petitioner's view, eroded public confidence in those institutions. However, the Chief Justice determined that these complaints failed to meet the constitutional threshold required. Now, Mr. Chambers, what does it mean if they say that the petition did not meet the prima facie case standard or threshold is supposed to meet according to the Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution?
Well, thank you so much. When we say a prima facie case, that is ample or substantial evidence to back up a claim in a petition. That is, to the layman, that is what we call prima facie case. You should have, if you have sent a petition to court, there should be some claims you stated in the petition. The one that is going to review the claims, like in this case, the Chief Justice, the Chief Justice should find some substantial evidence to support your claims. Then they can take it up from there. The prima facie case would enable any investigative body to continue or to do further investigation into a matter that has been submitted before court. That's all about prima facie case. Now, if you look at it very carefully, I am of the view that the NDC, as a political party, indeed did not take their time in sending some of these petitions. You see,
but do you have any copy of the petitions that were forwarded that you think
some of these petitions are not for public interest?
But we've read some for
we've read some
the Chief Justice when she was being asked to step down. Yes. Exactly. So I believe maybe with time we'll be able to
get them. But the 10 petitions, all of them are not available to me. For now, I've not read it. I've not read the 10 petitions.
So based on what grounds are you saying that it was rushed?
I believe that before you send someone to court, before you ask for the removal of any public office holder, you should have evidence. You should be able to stand on some substantial evidence to make your claims. If you have submitted not just one, not 2, in fact 10 petitions, against an office holder or office holders, and out of the 10, They've reviewed them. And all those people that are reviewing them are the very own people you, the same petitioner, have put into the office. The current Chief Justice was appointed by the current president. All the petitions, all those people that have sent their petitions, they are members of the ruling party. Or the petitions were sent under the influence of the ruling party.
But if you say that,
like it or not,
no,
that is the reality.
Mr. Chambers, do you know the people that sent the petition? Because you are saying that those that send the petitions are members of the ruling party. If you say that, what do you mean by that?
What I'm saying is that I have seen comments where the current chairman of the NDC,
which is
Asiedu said, if they win power in 2024 on Joy News, they were going to remove the EC chair. And he made a statement that the EC, the Electoral Commission was an existential threat to our democracy. That was when Dr. Bosman Asari, the deputy EC chair, also came in and told them that if there is any stakeholder or any party that is existential threat to our democracy, then it is an NDC. And that's where they pick up the points, and they were making noise that the EC, Dr. Bosman Asari was campaigning for the NPP. We saw it. We all saw the news. I want to state that if you look at the claims submitted or issue leveled against Charlotte Osei that caused her removal and the other deputies, it is totally different from this one. And that is what the NDC guys are basing on. They are saying that when Nana Idudenko Akufo-Addo, the former president, took office or took power, he removed Charlotte Osei and the deputies. Therefore, the current government, John Dramani Mahame's government, must also do same to Jane Mensah and her two deputies. And I want to say that these are two different cases altogether. The thing is this: if you look at the case of Charlotte Osei, they actually brought themselves to the public that, look, we are due for removal. Remove us from the offices. We're tired. Remove us from the offices. Jane Mensah has not exhibited. Dr. Bosman Asari and the other deputy, they have not exhibited any evidence-based attitude. They have not misconducted themselves in the office that you can say that they should be removed from the office. Let's compare the two cases.
Is it that you haven't heard or you've decided not
There's
to
no
see
any case. If there is 10
any
petitions
scandal created by the EC?
There's no any case or any scandal against Jane Mensah and that of the two deputies, like the case of Charlotte Osei.
So what happened in Pandai was as a result of whose incompetence?
What happened in Pandai?
When they gazetted 2 dates for the election, is it for the election to be declared or the winner to be declared?
Listen, I tell you one thing, that if you want to follow Rashid Tanko, this gentleman will mislead all of us.
So look, I the court is also lying.
Look,
because we saw from the Tamale High Court and also the Supreme Court.
The Electoral Commission, these are some of the things that we should not give much attention to. And that was why the judge in Tamale High Court did not even give his judgment in as expected. Listen, the Constitution, if you read through the Electoral Commission Act, it is stated clearly they have every right to conduct election. They have every right to change election results when they have declared a provisional results and other election results comes in. They have every right to change it. Every right. I'm saying every right. You understand? Nothing regulates anybody to change anything, provided that thing, whatever you are changing, is substantive. Provided what you are changing does not violate the standing rules and regulations of the commission, that is the Electoral Commission Act. Now, I am saying that if you have sent 10 petitions and all the 10 petitions, after reviewing it, there's no any prima facie case supporting, there's no any substantial evidence supporting your petitions, it is clear that you were just acting based on your selfish interests. Whoever was responsible of submitting these 10 petitions to the president, the person or those people were acting based on their personal interest. How do you sit down to tell me that all the 10 petitions, they've reviewed them and there's no any substances, there's no any clear evidence attached to them? Tell me, if today you ask anyone what was the crime of the OSP, or what is the crime of the the leadership of the Electoral Commission, what crime will you say? What at all are you going to say? Right. Now, I was even thinking that if the NDC claim they are Democratic Party, in fact they are fighting against corruption and all sort of things, if they have forgotten what happens in 2015, 2016, all the scandals leveled against them, if they are saying that they are very genuine and they are coming back for resetting, why were they against the OSP instead of being against the special prosecutor? This is an office. The OSP is different from SP, right? Office of Special Prosecutor is different from the Special Prosecutor.
How so different are they? I don't know the same.
When they say OSP, that has to do with the office.
With the office.
With the office. When they say SP, has to do with the person in the office. You understand? So if you say that the person is not clean enough, then you should remove the person and rather bring in a different person. But why were they interested in scrubbing off the entire office? That is to say that they were interested in that office. They wanted to get that office off so that it can pave a way for them to milk from this guy, to milk from the coffers of the country. They wanted to induce and steal money from the coffers of the country. That was why they were asking for the office of the OSP to be scratched off. Other than that, I don't see anything wrong with the existence of the office of Special Prosecutor.
Right. But in the year, ever since the Special Prosecutor was, appointed or established by your government, have we heard of him prosecuting anybody?
We have seen a lot. For me, we've seen how they are attacking the issue of Ken Oforiatta and co.
No, but has the OSP personally prosecuted anybody at all?
Well, I think
ever since his office was established.
When the party took over, they came up with their own initiatives, and that is oral. That's oral. So I don't know. That was complete interest, conflict of interest. You see, the OSP. If you look at what the OSP has done in the case of National Petroleum Authority, what he has done to the former chief executive of National Petroleum Authority, I tell you that it is clear evidence to show that the OSP was working there. He did well. Even if I don't know any case, the case of the National Petroleum Authority, right, it's evidence. Okay. Now, he has also been chasing Ken Oforiatta. And I want to also say that somewhere along the line, you see that the NDC government, some of the people were clapping for the OSP. What has changed? They were clapping for him. What did he do when he was chasing the the National Petroleum, former chief executive officer of National Petroleum? They were clapping, saying that he has done well and he was doing well. What has changed?
Right, Brahma.
Yes, please. Thank you very much. One thing is clear. I always want my brother to speak back with the evidences. He's making too much allegations without making reference to substance, evidential things that we can easily refer to. Because first of all, there is no way is it written, or nowhere is it written that any NDC member submitted a petition for the removal of the EC and her deputies on the OSP. Fact, the Chief Justice has not come to tell the whole world that these are the petitioners. Unlike during their era, when unlike the Chief Justice case, where she leaked the documents of the petitioners that was sent to a copy. Mm-hmm. I'm sure Jane Mensah, being a reputable lawyer as she is, knew the consequences of that and also kept it. I'm sure she had copies also, in case the case was to go any further for a committee to set up. She would have also presented her counter petitions or counter attack in order to defend herself. But God being so good, the case is not going any further. The president is going by the Chief Justice. You see, so fact established, no NDC member, as perpetrated by my brother, has been, publicly known or established that they petitioned the EC removal or the OSP. Now going forward, my brother make a case that the EC and the deputies have done no wrong. He doesn't see them doing any wrong.
Anything at all.
2020 elections, Techuma South elections, violence happened there. is a result of incompetence. People died who were held accountable. Recently, we heard the national chairman of the NDC saying that he believes there's a cover-up in the 2020 elections violence and even 2024 election violence related issues. Was he doesn't believe the report that came out to say that there were no wrongdoing on the part of even the security and the EC officials? Because for people to agitate, something must have triggered them. People feel there is a need to protect their vote. Yes, we all agree when you vote, you must go home and order, but people have to stand, can just observe. And there are some people who cannot stand unfairness, injustice, but it didn't demand or it doesn't require for anyone to hit the other or for people to die because of that. Those are the issues we are talking about. If you organize election properly, there wouldn't be this kind of outcomes that we face. He forgot that their own party general secretary, Justin Kodia Frimpong, just recently for the Ablekuma rerun, he said that NPP backs removal of James and her 2 deputies over Ablekuma North rerun.
From their own people.
Their own people. This is it. Modern Ghana. This is not even, this is a news portal. It has been there. I'm even surprised he doesn't know that the NPP supported the NDC. For the removal. The reason is that they believed that these EC officials are incompetent. They believe that they are not doing their job. So it came to a time where the NPP themselves, if you Google right now, you see it. NPP backs NDC for the removal of James and their deputies. Because they believe that the Ablekuma North rerun wasn't supposed to. We're not the ones they were not going to participate in the Ablekuma North rerun. They said that after the election, when they lost, their party people said that they did not officially participate in the elections, and that it was just an individual who went to participate in the elections. So I think we were all one in this, vehicle. But when it doesn't go well, they seek to wash their hands away from it. But that is not the truth. See, SAL elections, the people of Sankpofi, Lolobi and Co. were denied representation for 4 good years. What happened? The EC woke up almost 24 hours for the election. They told us that they could not have open for them to do their parliamentary primaries or elections because it is a new constitution established. And it's not as if it was established recently. They denied their people the right to vote for their people. Today, they have Fred Agbonyo as their MP. In 2020, they didn't have representation for 4 good years. That shows incompetence. You see, we can always have our disagreements with the courts. For me, for some of us, and for majority of we, the NDC people, we are surprised by the Supreme, the Chief Justice, outcome, because we felt that there were enough grounds per the speculations and what we were hearing, though we don't know the context of the petitions that were sent. An EC official named Joseph Blackson Adumeji petitioned for the removal of the chief of the Electoral Commission and her deputies. These were his grounds. The allegations, the petition cited 12 grounds for alleged misconduct, including procurement breaches, bias, poor corporate governance, and incompetence. Now, what were the reasons why Charlotte Osei was removed from office? They said procurement breaches.
That alone.
That alone were grounds enough. My brother is asking about the petitions against Charlotte Osei. I want him, when he gets the opportunity, to tell us who are the petitioners behind Charlotte Osei's removal. To the faceless people, we don't even know. But this member, this person, he has served with the EC for a decade. And he believed that the EC and her deputies broke procurement rules, were biased, corporate governance, what they call issues. He is someone who is part of them, and he has been able to petition boldly. We know him. For him, we know, but the rest we don't know. But he couldn't tell us the content. But these are the things that he cited, 12 grounds. And the Chief Justice wanted to tell us that he couldn't find any of those 12 grounds enough to say that we needed to, investigate or set up a committee to make sure that the EC and her deputies are removed.
Right. So on that grounds, what is the threshold for the standard of misconduct?
That one is to be determined by a committee set up by the president.
Right.
Interestingly, till today, we don't know what the description of misconduct is, because Charlotte Osei was removed. They said misconduct, procurement breaches. So if a party comes to the president set up a committee, and the committee finds out that even what do you call it, making a phone call at work is the term as misconduct, and that is enough grounds for your removal, so be it. So, we had a Chief Justice indeed supported the removal of Charlotte Osei because the process also went through a Chief Justice.
Yes.
And she said that they needed to set up an investigation. The MPP then were saying that, the president was just acting according to the recommendation by the Supreme Court or the Chief Justice because the president is a vehicle. You understand? So today, most of us are disappointed because we felt that, including some of our party stalwarts, felt that there were enough grounds. We had a whole deputy EC official telling the whole world that the NDC as a political party is a threat to democracy. Such a person must not remain in office because it definitely brings an image or a dent on your image in terms of neutrality. We all agree. We all cannot be, neutral. You may have your political affiliation. But once you are entrusted with such a public office, you need to be guided by your commentary. My brother has forgotten. 2024, we went on a demonstration. If you remember, about, we had issues about the voter, the voters register. You remember we did a nationwide demonstration. I forgotten the name of the demonstration. We walked Ashanti region. That was when we went to identify some issues with the register. Even the EC acknowledged. You remember at that IPAC meeting, Alan Tremente was prevented from participating in that IPAC meeting. He and his communicators were all about this. And even that was where the late presidential aspirant, Mame Equiadonko made some allegations against His Excellency, the President. Those unpalatable words she used. Yes, we identified some issues which were corrected, showing that the EC indeed, does not deserve to be in that position. But who are we? We are a law-abiding political party. Right. Today I read Franklin Kujo. He was much particular about the SAL issue. That for 4 years. So he believed those think tankers, the likes of Kofi Benton, the likes of Franklin Kujo, all believed that the EC and the deputies should go. But he said that we acknowledge, we accept it in good faith because we are law-abiding country without any issue, unless somebody else also triggers another petition. Right.
In this case, would you say that there is a selective application of the Article 146?
I do not believe so.
Because we saw in the case of the Chief Justice.
Yes.
They mentioned that misconduct.
Yes.
We also saw this, and I believe majority of Ghanaians have also seen
the works of the EC in the EC.
So would you say that there's a selective application to
I do not feel so because the issues are different. You understand? The issues that might have caused the Chief Justice, because some of the issues raised against her, the petitioners, they were known people and they were not known to be affiliated to any political party. One, I forgot to the one Mr. Richard or something like that, one very wealthy man, a police officer, businessman, publicly petitioned against the former Chief Justice. And it went through the process. She needed to step aside. An investigative body came out with this report, gave it to the president. But for this one too, it's the same thing. The president served as a vehicle, gave it to the Chief Justice. Just like he said, our own Chief Justice, appointed by our president. It shows, I know, Ghanaians know that back then, we would have known the outcome of this already because we would have known that sending it to the Chief Justice would have just warranted her removal. But today,
it came out.
The judiciary has been reset.
Right.
The country is feeling some kind of independence in our institutions.
Right.
Today, there is no longer unanimous FC.
So you think it's fair, or you still do not agree?
No, for me, I do not agree.
You do not agree.
But what we as a political party have to do is to accept it, unless there's another trigger. Right. That warrants us to. Right. So, in conclusion, what I would like my brother to know that, you see, he spoke about the OSP issue. I didn't tackle it. Give me some few minutes. The OSP issue is an office established for a special purpose vehicle to go after corruption and corruption-related offenses. Simplicity. My brother is saying that he's going after former GRA boys, he's going after Kenny Offerette. When did that start? The OSP stepped down. The OSP came into office after Martin Amidu ran away.
Yeah.
Because he described His Excellency, the former president, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, as the mother sapient of corruption.
Yeah.
These are not my words. These are the words of his own. He thought he was coming to do political witch hunting. Then when they tried to touch Osafuma, he said, touch not my anointed. His excellent right. They don't quick said, touch not my anointed.
Brian, I'll be back.
And because of that, the allocation of human money to this OSP, we've allocated so much money. We needed to see results.
Brian, I'll be back. So looking at this case, Mr. Chambers, would you say that how these independent bodies are removed, or would you say that there should be a reform?
Before I come to the reform of it, let me kindly run through the comments where my brother said there are 12 grounds for the removal of the EC leadership in this country. I want to draw his attention to something very important, that you can never compare the case of Jane Mensah, like I said earlier on, to Charlotte Osei, because these were the people that wrote against. They were the very people that were against themselves. Do you know that when MPP took over 2017, when we rescued Ghana from the hardship John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, was passing them through in 2012 to 2016, there were some petitions against the electoral commissioner. That was Charlotte Osei then. Now, what happened is that the MPP or the president did not pay attention to them until 2018. This is the truth. Until 2018, when the deputy director of administration, EC, wrote against Charlotte Osei for breaches of procurement, offenses. That was exactly what the deputy director administration wrote against Charlotte Osei. Now, Charlotte Osei also said something against Amadou Sule. I think he's late now. Amadou Sule, that he took over 5.4 million or billion Ghana cedis for wrong transfers. You could even remember that going into 2016 elections, the MPP was on the neck of the EC, the Charlotte Osei, to provide a register, and she didn't provide us any register. Unlike when you put pressure, you say you put pressure on Jane Mensah and register was provided. When we put pressure, there was no any register submitted to the MPP. You can do your checks. That was what happened. So the case of Charlotte Osei, she was removed in 2018. We didn't pay attention to it. They were the very same people who were writing into media against their very own selves. This is true. You understand? And if you say that Bosman Osari has also sat somewhere and said NDC is a existential threat to our democracy, he was only responding to your chairman, that's General Mosquito Seru Nkatia. He was only responding to him. He has accused the Electoral Commission, and they have their right. They have right in their own defense to respond to the gentleman. So that was what Bosman Asari also did. You understand? So don't let us. You see, what is wrong is wrong. Tit for tat would not help our democracy. But you should not liken the case of Charlotte Osei after the prima facie was established and there were clear evidence. You and I were working, and I said, oh, you have stolen something. Then you also come to say that I've also stolen something. Is that not a clear grounds for a prima facie case to be established? Is it like the case of Jane Mensah? No. You have no evidence. And so please, don't let us, we are young and upcoming ones. We should not always make statements when we don't know the true definition of those statements. The reforms we're talking about.
Yes, should it be reformed?
I don't think, if you read Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution and that of the Section 15 of the OSP Act, it is clear and it is well established that there's already a constitutional guide to some of these things. After the president has referred a case to the Chief Justice, a committee will be set up to investigate into the allegations or the petitions. I think that is enough. There's no need for any new reforms.
Any reform.
There's no need. The laws are there. The laws has worked some time ago. And I'm telling you that it has been working. The case of the former Chief Justice, that was the same laws, the same procedures they followed in getting her out. The case of Charlotte Osei, the same format they followed in getting her out. So in this case, I am saying that there's no any evidence leveled against the people. Whether the secretary of MPP spoke against the current EC leadership or not, I want to tell you, in every election after losing, there's always comments people pass. Are you aware? There's always comment people pass. So if you have passed a comment against the Electoral Commission, that is not enough to say that they are not competent enough to do the work. If they are not competent, whatever you are hearing from the public is public say. You have no evidence. So before we go ahead to get someone off from office, before you impeach or even force someone to abdicate from office, you should have evidence, which the constitution has already guided that. And so we cannot come up with another new reforms. There's going to be conflict of interest if we are bringing in another new reforms, because 10 petitions against the OSP and then the Electoral Commission has not been fruitful.
7 against the Electoral Commission and 3 against the OSP.
OSP, that those petitions hasn't been fruitful, or it has not come to meet the demands of the current government or some members of the NDC. I don't want to say entire NDC, because my brother here has already stated that most of the or majority of the NDC members are not happy with the outcome. Whether you are happy, you are not happy, the same constitutional backings that you used in getting the former Chief Justice out is the same backings today, is the same constitutional backings today. But this particular one, the people, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and the current Chief Justice is saying that, look, my guys, there's no any evidence, so go and relax. So relax. If there are evidence, we don't have any problem. We'll let you get
so is
out.
the judiciary now independent?
I can't completely say that the judiciary is not independent.
Why?
The issue is that when you look at our judiciary system, there are certain things that has already happened.
On this particular case, would you say that the
on this particular case, I think they have done the work well. In this particular case, I think no. You see, let's be honest with ourselves. If a judge, you send someone to court, the person was given like 15 years or 10 years. Then at the end of the day, you hear that the person is left with months to come out. If a judge can sit down and pass a judgment that 42 of some police stations were having problems, then you sit down and say that they should cancel the entire constituency results, when that has never happened in the history of Africa. Now you tell me that the judicial system is independent. You are not ruling based on the polling stations. You are cancelling or annulling the entire constituency without stating why you were cancelling the entire constituency. If a judge can sit down and tell us that some people are more important than others by using George Orwell's animal farms in this country, and look, my dear sister, a lot of things happened in this country when NDC took power that we have to stand on our feet to tell them that, look, where you were going undermines our democratic principles. Where you were going was a wrong precedent you were trying to set for this country. And so they left a very bad legacy. And so if they are taking responsible steps to redeem their image as judiciary body, that is fine. But the case of the 10 petitions that have been quashed out, saying that it was baseless, meaningless, and in fact, no prima facie case can be established based on this, silly and uncultured petitions that are submitted before us. I will congratulate them and I will wish them well. You see, the judicial system, when that body is undermined, every one of us won't be safe in this country.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Chambers. Mr. Barima, would you agree that the petition should be made public, so as we also read and educate ourselves, so as to go about it, if we have to petition anybody else?
Yeah, for the purposes of even public opinion, so that everyone will have their own opinion, but already the decisions have been made already. But for the purposes of public opinion, our personal studies to get to know on what grounds, because the same reasons that my brother is saying, that the same reasons Charlotte was removed are some of the reasons that are also part of some of the petitions submitted. Because
no, I never said that.
No, I am saying that point. I'm saying that some of the reasons that were stated for the removal of Charlotte are part of some of the reasons cited in this petition.
But that one, there's no evidence.
So I'm making my point.
Okay, you can go ahead.
The Chief Justice duly submitted that there is no prima facie case. We can't take that away from him, because they have an opportunity to look at it, and based on their legal background, they have seen that it's not enough grounds. We agree, but my brother here seek to, you see, one thing I don't like about the NPP is that, you see, you want to come as a saint. You are not a saint.
You don't like us.
When you are coming, hold a hand sanitizer. At least admit that you have also been guilty of the crime or the supposed issue. before 2016 elections, they were everywhere saying that when they come to power, they will remove Charlotte Osei. Most of your party stalwarts, including Honorable Kennedy Japan, most of them were saying that they will remove Charlotte Osei. Whether by hook or by crook, they will remove her. And when you came, what did you do? You did it.
But was that the reason she was removed? She
now,
brought herself.
You did it. Let me
no.
land. When you were talking, I didn't. So please relax. There's so many things I could have interjected, but I just. You removed her. You are saying that her colleagues are fighting and all they are fighting among themselves. So in order to separate a fight, it means you have to remove the person. That's the best way to solve an issue. That when workers are fighting, you remove them. You like.
That's not what I said.
Like when you are thinking about some of these things, it means that the person's source of even income, because of a supposed fight. Well, you are saying that even they themselves, the deputy director of whatever, also petitioned and they are fighting. She spoke against this person, spoke against this person. It is not, removal is not the solution to the problem. Why? Can't you sit them down and talk to them?
No.
You understand? There are so many things. And also, you see, their own EC staff was part of one of the people who submitted the petitions. And he cited 12 grounds on which he thinks that the mayors and the deputies should be removed. Agreeably, the Chief Justice said, he doesn't find that enough grounds to remove them. We are taking it in good faith. But that's what I'm saying. We can always have our disagreements. And that's why most of us have expressed our disagreement. Because we know that had it been a political party like the NPP, they would have probably influenced the judiciary to side with them, to get their own people out, because the reasons that were cited for the removal of Charlotte Osei were very flimsy. Reasons. We don't see it as tangible enough. But then, I have my own opinion about it. The Chief Justice then, with her legal backing, believed that indeed Charlotte Osei and her deputy, because my brother is saying that the petitions came in 2017. The president left his in 2018. When they realize that they are fighting among themselves, that's when he sees that it is not appropriate.
Please don't misquoting me.
I'm making meaning out of what you are saying. So when you get to your turn,
please don't misquote.
I'm not misquoting you. You said that the petitions came in 2017,
and which they didn't pay attention to them.
What did I see? And I said you said the president didn't act on it until 2018.
Yeah. The president did not act in 2018 based on the petitions, the old petitions. That new petitions or petition came. You understand? In 2018, this was a man, Sule, the person, Amadou Sule.
So the reason is that he acted because
Amadou Sule was accused of taking 5.4 billion to transfer wrong people to vote. Yes. Now, Charlotte Osei also breached Public Procurement Act, where she also gave out contract without approval, and that if you have gone in that tangent, you have violated the office and you are not clean enough to hold the office. That was the grounds for removal. So when they called the two people, when they called them and interviewed them, or when they investigated into it, it was true. They could not deny it, which they accepted it was true.
I don't know for that fact, because Charlotte Osei rejected vehemently in public that she wasn't involved. The reasons, when you Google right now, reasons for Charlotte Osei removal, what I've been saying, you have procurement breaches, you have misconduct. There's nothing like what.
No, procurement will lead to misconduct. Definitely.
I am telling you that. So the reasons for her removal are some of the reasons cited in here for Jemesa's removal. That is the point.
There's no evidence to it.
Which,
in the case of Jemesa,
the Chief Justice has established that it is not enough to warrant her removal. There can be evidence.
But it's not just concrete.
Yes, it will not. Do you understand the primary question?
There's no prima facie. It means there's no any substantial.
That is not the meaning of it.
What is prima facie?
Substantial. What am I saying? So what did they say? I said that there may be evidence.
It's a Latin word.
No, that's what I'm saying. There may be evidence, but it may not be substantial enough to warrant. It's not everything that you have to move the person.
Prima facie is a Latin word. First side information.
Right.
I'm saying that it doesn't mean that when it comes to our law, our legal, they tell you that it must be substantial enough to warrant the removal. That's why the NPP were not in support of the removal of the Chief Justice Jethro Tukono, because they felt that the issues that happened were not enough.
No, there's no evidence.
So, Brima, will we say that, should we be confident that now our judiciary is independent?
Right now, independence of the judiciary will only depend on how they deliver their work. We will always have an opinion about it, and their independence will determine how. You see, one thing about the law is that it must not it usually does not coincide with commonsensical thinking. Let me put it that way, because what we feel as common sense, when you look at the Chief Justice currently, Paul Bafoboni, during his vetting, he made a certain scenario, which I felt is the reason why some of us, we don't get why the law goes sideways and otherwise.
In favor of some people.
He made a point about a woman who planted her, what do you call it, plantain. Now, you know how many years it takes for a plantain to even ripe into a banana. Then this woman goes and then someone one day will come and steal this plantain. That is her Range Rover. That is her, perhaps her life saving that she invested in it. Then you would use one day to come and steal it. So when you come to the court, they look at all these things, the toil of the person, how the person has gone through to be able to get to this point.
Yeah.
And so if they give harsh sentence like 7 years, 10 years, we shouldn't think that it's just plantain. And that we come to argue that, politicians steal this amount of money, we don't jail them that amount of years, but people just still planting. But do you know how much it has taken, or investment it has taken for someone to invest in making sure that his or plantations get ripe for them to go and sell in the marketplace? So sometimes it doesn't have to side with our common sense issues, but just like the former Chief Justice said, the law is the law. The law will always continue to take its course. We will always continue to have our opinion. But what I believe is that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and NDs has indeed reset the judiciary. And we are seeing that in their judgments lately.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Brimer. The law is the law. In as much as you're not happy about it, you can be happy about it, you cannot be happy about it.
Right.
But you are dealing with legal issues here. So it will take legal procedures. So if you're not happy about the fact that the J Mensa is not removed or OSP is not removed, as Brahma said, the law is the law. But I'll be very glad if they make the petitions public, so as we read it and then educate ourselves. So that next time, if you have the chance to petition someone as well, you know how to go about it and what documents or evidence you need to provide. Right. At this juncture, we'll zoom into our second topic. That has to do with a recent attack on traders at Burkina Faso. A very sad, event. They were burnt to ashes, beyond recognition. Some incurred injuries. Some are in the hospital, receiving treatments. But 7 others have returned to the country. But this should actually be a wake-up call to we Ghanaians. We have a very fertile land. Why do we have to go all the way to Burkina Faso to go and export?
For the past 8 years.
And what happened to the planting for food and jobs?
For the past 8 years, you have asked a good question. For the past 8 years, I mean before 2016, what do you call it? One district, one factory.
One village, one dam.
One village, one dam.
Planting for food and
planting for food and jobs. One constituency, $1 million. All those things, if they had been properly implemented, probably we wouldn't have been here. It's unfortunate that we still import tomatoes.
Yeah.
Like it's surprising, and for people to always go out of this country and go to the West African neighboring countries, just here Burkina Faso, to implement tomatoes for us to feed on. It's sad, but His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has pledged his commitment to making sure that we are able to bring out policies that would make sure that we grow what we eat and eat what we grow. We are looking at, recently the ban on plastic importation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So gradually we'll get there. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama recently also make a pronouncement about processing our cocoa beans by 2030 and our raw materials, so I think these are the measures that we can put in place so that our traders wouldn't have to always go to these neighboring Sahel countries that they are prone of this terrorist attack. God being so good, Ghana has always been exempted from these things. For whatever reason, we don't face these things, but it's unfortunate. We would like to also extend our condolences to the bereaved families. They should accept the the condolences of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC, and that is unfortunate that we have come to witness this. It's a very, when you think about it, it's a very bad way to even die. It's scary, and that I know the president, visited those who survived. They were airlifted by the Ghana military officers to the 37 military hospital. Some of them are recovering, and we pray that they will be able to recover fast. The government has pledged to take care of their medical cost, and so it's some kind of relief that we are bringing to them. But it's unfortunate that it has happened, and we it's a lesson to all of us, and that it's also a lesson that come 2028, we make sure that the NPP stay in opposition, and that as a result of bad governance, they came to give us slogans with nothing to show for. And the whole minister of Agric, who were in this country, he was selling plantain at his ministry. Do you remember?
Brian.
Do you remember Honorable Efriye Okuto, the former Agric minister? He was selling plantain at his office because he believed that the farm gate prices, the prices that people are charging in the marketplaces, were so exorbitant, were so high. So we had a whole ministry, instead of planting for food and jobs, making sure that, I don't even know the policy direction, maybe my brother educator, what the policy direction was, what was the outcome. You see, when they want to criticize, they need to show us what they have done. You need to prove beyond doubt that you indeed brought solution to a problem. Because they were giving goats, they were giving sheep, they were giving so many things to people, we didn't even understand it.
Right.
And shambolic implementation of policies, and it has led us here. So if we had properly implemented the planting for food and jobs, tomato would have been in abundance by now. Our traders wouldn't have had to go to import tomatoes for us. Because for 8 good years, we had a certain. Do you know that during MPP's era, we had a minister of agriculture and 3 deputies? It's like we are forgetting so soon. 3 deputies for the agric ministry, yet nothing to show for.
Right.
We had a swap, a change. Honorable Brian Achampo came. Instead of focus on the agric, he wanted to buy our hotels.
Selling.
He wanted to buy our hotels. And so this kind of group of people, now that they have been reduced to micromanaging in parliament, we have to make sure they do not exist any longer in our political discourse.
Right.
Because they do not bring anything to us for 8 good years. So at the end of the day, yes, we apportion the blame for the poor implementation of their policies. But we also believe that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC will make sure to bring in our policies, our great policies, to make sure that we facilitate some of this and prevent the outcome. The Minister of Interior has assured us that going forward, we'll go to make sure that these things don't happen.
Right. Why have we failed as a country to meet the demand of local production?
Before I come in, I am so surprised that this is a very important issue we have to look at, but that people have lost their lives. People, in fact, were bent down into ashes. You could not even identify who is this and who is this. This is a very important topic. My brother was rather campaigning for the NDC in 2028. That was so sad. Instead of speaking to the matter, you decided to, shift the blames to the MPP, as if NDC has never ruled this country before. I was expecting you to ask him, what's irrigation farming? What policy did they enroll when they took power in 2008? What policy did they enroll to ensure that we have abundant tomatoes in this country? 2012, the same person ruling us today was the president. What did they do? Did they put any beautiful initiatives in place that NDC has abolished that initiative? You didn't ask him. But enough of the lamentation, because he has nothing to say on the topic. I am not here to campaign for Dr. Mahmoud in 2028, but I want to speak to the issue. Listen, I always say that the manner in which we do things in this country, it seems you are not pleasing what God has awarded or God has given to this country. There was a time I told people that we have everything in this country. Look, we have a lot of lands in this country. fertile land. We can harvest tomatoes in rainy season. We can have tomatoes in dry season. How many irrigation farmers, how many irrigation farming or schemes are working effectively in this country? How many of them are working in this country? The few ones that are there, we are not even paying attention to it. We have everything. In fact, when it comes to agriculture, Ghana has been blessed so much. But the way they pay attention to something, when I read around the tomatoes, in fact, we are importing 100 tons of tomato locally.
We spend
a lot of money on importations of tomato, either tomato paste or the tomato itself. Now, if you read around it, tomato alone is producing or is assisting this country with 1.2% of our Ghana's GDP. That is, it means that it's really contributing enough. Now, it's about time that we push or we mind how we bring in certain things in this country. When we can do it on our own, we can produce tomato in this country. It's just about making sure that we enroll some schemes, some irrigation farmings to station some people, farmers. Maybe if we have 100 acres of land, maybe 1,000 acres of land, there are private people in this country, private commercial farmers who farm more than 2,000, 5,000 acres of land. Commercial farmers, people who have made farming as their business. The issue is that we are crippling the tomatoes farms in this country. If you read around what the Chamber of Agribusiness Ghana stated, it means that we are losing 5.7 billion every year into tomato importations. As a government, we must rise up to make sure that we put initiatives in place to ensure that we solve the issue of importations of some of these small things. I call them small things because we can go ahead. The Tono irrigation farms, we can expand it. This has been there. We are not expanding it. We can also make sure that we enroll, allocate some amount of money. Do you know that the 5.7 billion we are losing every year in importing tomato paste from Europe or other countries, we can use that amount of money to start irrigation farmings, and that farming can supply tomato to everyone in this country, and will never import. We can also expand some factories in this country that the tomatoes we even import from Burkina, we can transform them into tomato paste, and that will help this nation. Our minds are not there. If you go about campaigning and pushing it onto one price, please. When you were talking, I was going to.
You brought up beautiful policies, such as the one village, one dam, which was going to help irrigation to these farms. You also brought up planting for food and jobs.
Planting for food and jobs. Now,
what did they yield?
I'm coming. When you come to talk about the planting for food and jobs, I tell you that let's move away from politics. Planting for food and jobs has helped us so much, and that we have achieved a lot in the northern part of Ghana. Yes, I worked under planting for food and jobs before, and that's planting for food and jobs helped so much in feeding senior high schools. Some were given fertilizers to begin farming. We farmed rice and other farm produce that we even supply to the government. If you sit here to tell me that they were selling plantain and other things, the same planting for food and jobs, they brought in plantains in this country. The same people you sit down here, Dr. Brian Achampo and Co, you sit down here to condemn. There were plantains in this country, locally produced, that were brought into the market, and people were buying. Now, if you look at the one village, one dam, some constituency might not receive it, but where I am coming from, in Zabzugu constituency, I have a dam that I can swear with this, and if you go to Tatal area, you can go in. Some of the, I'm saying that
the dam is there.
Is it there, yes or
fact,
no?
Working effectively. Working, it has solved.
Irrigation.
It has. Listen, when I say dam, the irrigation is not attached to it, but it's a dam. I tell you that areas, people fetch. We use it for our daily activities and all that.
What about
the dam was to serve a purpose?
Listen, the dams were to serve a purpose. But if you take your 8 years in power, from 2008 to 2016, no, you can laugh. You see, when you are talking to us, when you say that NPP,
you brought your policy.
No, I'm coming. Are you telling me that when in 2008 you never made any promise at the agri sector. Are you telling me that in 2012 you never made any promise in the in agri sector? What have you achieved? And tell me one policy. This your disgraced. Excuse me to use this word. your agri minister. I can tell you that he's one of the guys I hate. One of the ministers who is just sleeping, doing nothing.
They'll come for you using the word hate.
No, they should come. That man has nothing. That man has no impact for us as a nation.
Hey.
He was just appointed. He was dumped there. If you sit here to tell me that in the regime of NPP we had 2 deputies, how many deputies?
3.
You had 3 deputies. What happened?
Very good. You equally have same. You have the agri minister. You have the deputy. You have a presidential staffer in charge of agri business. Listen. The salary is even as equal to that of the minister. What are you?
Salary is not equal to the minister.
All right.
I think. Listen. You are intruding so much into this conversation. But I don't have problem with that. I want to tell you that if we have 3 people that were working under a Greek ministry, I tell you that they were able to enroll the planting for food and jobs. Tell me one thing you have achieved from your first. Listen, if we have left it and you are not managing it, tell me in the first 8 years you ran this country, what did you do at the Agri minister? Your first.
The dam that you are talking about in your village. What purpose is it
serving? Let's go and take the factories.
The dam you are talking about. Have you established any tomato factory in this country?
If you want us to,
have you established any tomato factory?
As if your government.
You promised us. You promised us.
If you want it to go that way,
you promised us one village, one dam.
Even the last one.
You promised us.
All right, gentlemen. All right.
You promised us.
I'm saying I didn't want to. I'm patiently listening to you when you were talking. Look, for us to have some of these topics fruitfully discussed, we don't need to be shifting blames and sitting down doing campaigns around. I think look as if we are not even concerned about the people who are losing their lives. We're not so concerned about it. I think it is one of the things you have said, and I would have wished you expunged it from your submission. Listen, and the issue of planting for food and jobs. Let's not do politics around it. We have handed over the planting for food and jobs. If you can manage it, you can manage it.
What factories have
now?
Tell us.
Do you know? You can listen. Take your phone. Check the number of factories the NPP has built. The number of factories your 8 years you have built. John Dramani compare John Dramani Mahama factories to that of the Nana Dudonko factory.
You don't have any. You don't have any. Do you have any?
I'm saying check.
Mr. Chambers.
Do you have any?
Mr. Chambers. We hear comments.
Comfort juice and all that way. You check. You sit down. No, you check.
I've done what?
So you see, sometimes
our time is up. Our time is up. But lastly and briefly, 1 minute for each of you. We hear comments that if we had a defense minister, all of this wouldn't have happened. How different would it have been if we had a defense minister? In 1 minute.
I think that discussion is question is flawed one, because we have a deputy defense minister. You see, these are things that were not anticipatory, because this is not the first time they are going there to import tomatoes. You understand? The tensions that have risen over the Sahel region should have probably given us a hint of it. So I understand government can take part blame. I don't know how I'm going to even blame the government, because these are things that we never anticipated. Because there is a regular, thing that they do. They import the tomatoes and all that. And so the deputy defense minister is also competent enough to man affairs. Having a substantive defense minister doesn't change anything anyway, because he's the finance minister, Kesson Atopoulos, has been given an added responsibility. He has proven to deliver effectively. You understand? And there may be lapses, but it doesn't mean having a defense minister would have, prevented anything. But in concluding, I would like to say, extend my warm greetings to the Ministry of the Youth and Empowerment, Honorable George Opariado. Recently, on 13 February, he distributed some equipment. We have some the tailoring machine, those saloon machines for the National Apprenticeship Program, a Jumare program that has been at the National Youth sector. So I'd like to also extend my greetings to the Honorable Minister of Employment and Labour Relations, Honorable Richard Pilpo. He has also made mention of the companies that are trying to come on board for it. And also, lastly, the Member of Parliament for also West Wogon. I don't know about John.
Doesn't know they're going to share cocoa drink.
Yes, he's going to share cocoa drink for every school in the constituency once every week.
Once every week.
Some people promised us some time ago of
it's
cocoa
all
drinks.
nice.
Some people, they
said they were going to do
some
this.
people,
No. It's nice because
it will come to your turn.
You were here when I was talking. You were here when I was talking. You were intruding.
I am landing 1 minute.
Listen, no. She gave you 2 minutes.
Your time is even up.
No. She gave you 2 minutes.
Please,
so proceed. My producer is already seated.
I didn't make this point. Let me conclude it.
Let's close.
I'll take 30 seconds.
Cannot do that.
Party in power. Party in power. I need time.
You keep saying that.
Party in power. I need time.
See, you are not seeing
the more you are talking together, you are wasting time.
He's the one bringing out this issue. You know, he's the one bringing out all this issue. You understand?
For Ayawaso West Ward,
so you should be able to
has promised that he's going to give every school in his constituency cocoa drink.
Say lies. Well, like the cocoa people that are suffering, you are not paying them.
So the end of the year,
now you are publishing that you increase their salary and all that. You are here saying you will give them cocoa.
What do you have to say?
We have reduced our salary.
What do you have to say, Mr. Chambers?
For the issue
you never reduce salaries to support cocoa farmers.
For the issue of the
you never reduce salaries to support cocoa farmers.
The defense minister, I don't know. I don't really know what they are up to. If you sit here to say that it's an added tax to someone who is doing well, I don't read meaning out of it. When the constitution has established that this country we must have a defense minister, for how long? This man, may his soul rest in peace, lost his life with some other prominent politicians. People have been gotten to fill those vacancies. But why that particular position? Because there's that conflict of interest, everybody's struggling for it, and you're projecting people, pick this person. I tell you, the security system in this country has been undermined. And you can't tell me that if the defense minister was there and you wonder what he would have done, he might have done something better. Are you telling me that those areas, they can provide security? If you see those people attacking, what's the name? These armed robbers are very much aware that the security level in this country is so low. So they can come into the country, they can stand at the borders to do anything. Nobody will get them because there's no defense minister. This is one of the key things that the armed robbers or whoever are feeding on. So get us a substantive defense minister. We are tired.
Right.
Are you Greek?
Is that your last words?
I'm fine.
You are fine.
Oh,
right.
You
Thank you so much, Mr. Chambers and Mr. Bryman. Thank you so much for joining us on the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. And thank you to our online listeners and audience. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll meet next week. Do have a lovely weekend.